It is win or go home for the Danbury Hat-Tricks on a Tuesday night at Danbury Ice Arena. And this is the Hat-Tricks pregame show. My name is Josh Starr with Jim Cerny. And it was a Game 1 overtime defeat for the Hat-Tricks on Monday night in Binghamton. They didn't trail until the final goal went in. And they come home with their backs against the wall looking to keep the season alive.
Yeah, that's what happens. It's a best-of-3 series, so if you stumble once, you better not stumble again, or else, what has been a very, very good season will come to a very, very quick end. And again, a best-of-3, you can't afford that to happen. But you know what? Danbury was so good on home ice this season, and they had such a strong season, finishing third overall in the league. They earned this home ice advantage. Here's where the home ice advantage should come into play. They dropped Game 1 5-4 in overtime last night, a game that they never trailed until the final goal went in overtime. But, okay, you lost that game. It's a game they probably feel like they should have won. They should have salted away. They didn't. But you come home tonight, it's a home game. You're terrific on home ice all season. And if you win tonight, guess what? You're back at home in this building again tomorrow. You work for that home ice advantage. Now make it work for you in the playoffs.
24-6-0 at home this year, the Hat-Tricks. Yeah. 2 of those losses in the last week of the regular season. One of them to Delaware and one of them to this Binghamton team on a week ago from Sunday. So the Hat-Tricks have to try to find a way to put that aside and get back to those winning ways at home. It all starts with staying out of the box, and last night it was a mess for the Hat-Tricks with discipline. Talked to Dave McIsaac before the game yesterday. I asked him if he had to pick one thing that his team had to do right in Game 1. He said it was to stay out of the penalty box, and that is not what happened. You can talk about the refereeing, you can talk about whatever you want. The Hat-Tricks have to be more disciplined, and it all starts up front, and all the way through the lineup. They can't be in the box as much as they were last night.
Yeah, and that was a constant theme, over the first, I'd say 4 to 6 weeks of the season. Danbury, it was just a parade to the penalty box. But I really thought that they quieted that down. After, I'd say November or so, late November, I really thought Danbury became a much better disciplined team, and as a result, became one of the best teams in the league. Now, it crept in a little bit at the end of the season, and again, you had fluctuating lineups, you had guys that were jumping in for injured players and all that, so I didn't really focus too much on it. Boy, you had to focus on it last night. The top power play in the league in the regular season belongs to the Black Bears. They went to the man advantage 10 times last night, scored twice on the power play, so 2 for 10 there, and it could have been a whole heck of a lot worse. And that game may not have even reached overtime if not some solid goaltending there by Pete DeSalvo in the third period, because Binghamton was given 4 power plays in that third period alone. Cannot happen again tonight, against any opponent, much less the top power play in the league.
And DeSalvo, 35 saves total in the game, and 14 of them in the third period. The Hat-Tricks were outshot 14-3 in the third period, and that third period really is what ended up costing them the game last night, and it was in large part due to just so many penalties on the board against.
Yeah, Danbury, when they scored the late goal in the first period and went up 3-1, and you were doing the game in Binghamton, I was messaging you from back home in Westchester, and I'm like, boy, that is a huge goal that put them up 3-1 late in the first. But Binghamton scores early in the second. Now it's a 1-goal game. And boom, Danbury answers back. And then they dominate territorially and on the shot clock in that second period. And to me, that's where the game kind of shifted, at least in my opinion. Because even though they carried a 2-goal lead into the third, they just outshot Binghamton 17-5 in that second period. It only scored once. Joe Shepard was real good in that second period in goal. And then, boom, Binghamton scores early in the third. Now it's a 1-goal game again, and instead of answering back, Binghamton scores again and then dominates that third period. And you had the feeling that Danbury was just kind of holding on the rest of the way, at least in regulation. I thought the overtime was a better play, better chances for Danbury. They just ended up on the short end.
And the Hat-Tricks, they scored 4 times last night, but only 5 players recorded points, and it was mainly the Steve Mealy line with Adam Dowda and Dustin Gesso on it. They combined for 8 points between the 3 of them. Mealy with 2 goals, Dowda with 2 assists, and Gesso 2 assists as well. Gesso not in the lineup tonight, serving a suspension from last night's game, so the Hat-Tricks have done some shifting around with the lines. Tobias Ojic comes in, and they will have to try and make up for that line. Steve's brother Tom will join him on the other wing with Dowda in the center, and that line will be an important piece tonight for the Hat-Tricks with the veterans on it and having to really have production from all 3 lines tonight.
Yeah, and you can't underestimate what a big loss out of the lineup. Losing Dustin Gesso is a guy who scored 21 goals in 30 games this season. You know, he's a big-time player, and he plays with big-time emotion. Unfortunately, he lost control a couple times last night. He ended up being charged with 34 minutes in penalties. Now, I know 20 of those came at the end of the game, which is what led to his suspension. But 2 of his penalties last night, one during the game, a 10-minute misconduct for abusive officials, and then another one at the end of the game. And you just can't have that. You can't have that in the regular season. Absolutely cannot have it in a playoff game. So you talk about discipline. Certainly Dustin Gesso lost that last night. But that said, you lose a key contributor in your lineup tonight. And as you said, the Mealy brothers now will be paired with Dowda. So, there's the familiarity there. So, the Mealys always know where each other is on the ice. And certainly Dowda's fit in really well with Steve Mealy. So, I don't think there's going to be too much of an issue there. But what are you going to get from the rookie tonight, Tobias Ojic? Is the stage going to be too big for him? It hasn't been in the regular season. He's been just about a point-a-game player in 30 games this year for the Hat-Tricks. But again, like Gesso, he's a guy that skates on the edge, and he's got to be on the right side of the line tonight, where Gesso wasn't last night. So I think Ojic, I like what he brings to the lineup. If he plays the right way, he could be a huge guy in that 3rd line for them tonight.
And he won't be the only hat-trick making his playoff debut. Johnny McDonald fits into the lineup. He'll be on the left side with Garrett Gallagher on his right. Easton Oliver out from last night's game, and McDonald in. Brendan Pepe stays in, and he'll be paired with Zach Lazaro for the Hat-Tricks. It's interesting that Oliver, the veteran player, comes out, and Pepe and McDonald both stay in, the young players for the Hat-Tricks. But Pepe, a guy who played just 7 games toward the end of the regular season, coming over from Stony Brook in the ACHA at the college level, this coaching staff has seemed to put a lot of trust in him so far.
Yeah, it could be a great late season addition and maybe a guy that could be here in the future as well. Very good offensive right-handed shot defenseman who's got some good size and is shown to, mix it up a little bit of a physical play as well, a little bit of a physical presence, but he's a bigger guy back on a blue line that tends to be smaller guys back there for Danbury. Interesting what they do tonight. Typically, you'll see Garrett Gallagher paired with Zach Lazaro as a pair. Throughout the regular season, if you saw one, you typically saw the other one out there. But here, because they're both a little bit more veteran, a little bit more experienced, they split up the rookie. They don't want the 2 rookies together on a defensive pair. So as you said, McDonald will be with Gallagher, and then Pepe will be with Lazaro tonight.
Let's take a look over at the Black Bears side for tonight's game. Joe Shepard was the goaltender last night. Like you said earlier, he really settled in and made a big part in that second period. The Hat-Tricks only scoring once on 17 shots. It turned the game around for Binghamton, but tonight, Owen Liskowitz in net for the Black Bears. He played the lion's share during the regular season, 18, 13, and 1, and .899 save percentage. And a lot of the time that these teams played, he was the netminder in net for Binghamton. Head coach Rod Davidson making a change after an overtime win for Game 2. Binghamton with 2 chances in Danbury, but like we talked about, the Hat-Tricks have been outstanding in this building. What are they going to face with Owen Liskowitz?
Yeah, so a really big guy. He's 23 years old, was very, very good in his rookie season. In fact, he was voted as the Young Stars goalie at the end of the season here in the FPHL. But a big guy, 6'4", 240-pounder from New Jersey. He's an aggressive guy, very confident in the nets from the games that we were able to see him. And we did see him quite a bit this year. He was 3-4-0 against the hat tricks this season. He had some outstanding games. He had some games where he got pulled as well, and Shepard had to finish out. So it'll be interesting. The thing is, Coach Davidson here has a little bit of a luxury. He's got two good goalies that pretty much split the duties over the course of the year. When you win the first game, you can have the luxury of going to the other goalie in game two. And if it doesn't go your way, well, you can go back to the guy who won you game one. Or if your goalie plays well in game two and you just happen to lose, then he's only playing 2 games in a row. If you're in the hat trick side, well, you're pretty much looking to Pete DeSalvo 3 games in a row if you're going to win this series, because they lost the opener. He's your number one guy, as good as Brian Wilson is, so you come right back with him tonight. You win tonight, you got to come back with DeSalvo again tomorrow. So Davidson has a little bit more of a luxury than Coach Dave McIsaac does for the hat tricks when it comes to having 2 good goalies and being able to use each.
We talked about the importance of staying out of the box. Keys to the game tonight for the hat tricks in this postseason, presented by Sal's Pizza, the best slice in town in the Danbury area. It has to be, again, stay out of the box. You cannot take that many penalties again tonight. And the hat tricks generated the offense they needed. They did what they needed at even strength, with 2 of the Binghamton goals coming on the power play, one of them a 5-on-3. You have to just stay out of the box, and the hat tricks were the better team at even strength last night and should have probably been able to win that game if it wasn't for all the penalties. So for me, you have to stay out of the box again, and everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I couldn't agree anymore, and it's a topic we've harped on a lot during the season, but it really comes to play after what happened last night. I'll give you another key is score on your own power play. 0 for 5 last night. This power play has really struggled in the second half of the season. They were in the top third of the league in the first half of the season. They dropped all the way to 6th in the league by time the season ended, and really struggled down the stretch on the man advantage. You have a lot of talent out there. You have Johnny Ruiz, Gordy Bonnell's back in the lineup, Corey Anderson's back in the lineup, you have Nick Levesque, you have Adam Dowda, you have the Mealy brothers. I mean, there's the talent out there, but it's the cohesion that they have not had down the stretch of the season. And trust me, we saw it last night, for Binghamton. Swings the game. You start scoring on the man advantage, it swings the game your way. Danbury, if they can get an early one on the power play, could be a big difference in this game. When
you get a kill, also swings the momentum of the game. Ruiz, you talked about him on the power play, 13 power play goals on the season. That was second in the league, but a lot of those earlier on in the year. Hat tricks have to find a way to get the power play working tonight and try to extend their season. We'll step aside here from Danbury. That was the Danbury Hat Tricks playoff pregame show. We'll be back with the starting lineups and puck drop from Danbury. Game 2, Hat Tricks have to win to keep their season alive, and we'll have the puck drop next here on the Hat Tricks YouTube channel. Welcome back into Danbury Arena, almost set for puck drop, and we are back with the starting lineups for tonight's Game 2 of the FPHL quarterfinals. The Binghamton Black Bears lead the series 1-0 over the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Starting for Binghamton, in goal, Owen Liskowitz. We talked about him in the pregame show. He's had the lion's share of the starts for Binghamton, 18-13-1, an .899 save percentage, a .410 goals against in the regular season. But it was Joe Shepard last night. Liskowitz gets the net tonight. At forward for Binghamton, Gavin Yates, centers Tyler Jurich and Tyson Kirkby, who scored the overtime goal last night on defense. Colin Fitzgerald, a 2-goal game last night, and Kyle Powell, a 2-assist game last night. The PR Electric starting lineup for the Hat-Tricks. Pete DeSalvo in net, 35 of 40 saves last night for Pete DeSalvo. And up front, it was 2/3 of this line that was really effective last night. 6 points combined between Adam Dowda and Steve Mealy. Tom Mealy joins his brother on the left wing on that line. Steve Brown and Aaron Atwell, the defense pair for the Hat-Tricks to start things off tonight. The rest of the lines for the Hat-Tricks, Johnny Ruiz centers Gordy Bennell and Nick Levesque. Corey Anderson centers Tobias Ojic and Dmitry Kuznetsov. Phil Bronner, the extra skater. Johnny McDonald and Garrett Gallagher are the second D pair, and Zach Lazaro, Brennan Pepe round out the Hat-Tricks back end. Head coach Dave McIsaac trying to get the first win in Hat-Tricks playoff history tonight, and they have to do it to keep the season alive. We'll step aside and have the puck drop next on the Hat-Tricks YouTube channel. Just about set for puck drop from Danbury. Game 2 of the FPHL quarterfinals. The Danbury Hat-Tricks and the Binghamton Black Bears. Josh Starr with Jim Cerny. Tonight, the Hat-Tricks facing elimination in their first franchise home playoff game ever. It's a great night, and the Hat-Tricks look to keep the season alive.
Yeah, you know, Johnny Ruiz, Gordy Bennell, Corey Anderson, Aaron Atwell, all those guys from 2 seasons ago. This is a night they've been waiting for. You know, they were part of a team that was on such a run heading into the playoffs in 2020, but of course, the playoffs had never happened because of the coronavirus pandemic. So they've been waiting a long time for this night. Home playoff game, Danbury Arena, but it's a must-win for them, or else all this is short-lived, and season will come to an end. Let's see how it goes.
Hat-Tricks in the home blacks. Binghamton, the road whites. Adam Dowda will face Gavin Yates to start it off, and we're underway in Game 2. Binghamton takes the opening draw up the near wing, right to left across the Hat-Tricks line. Yates swinging to the left circle, down low behind the Hat-Tricks net, rips it out in front. It banks to the point. Powell takes off the wall, shoots wide of the cage. It bounces out. Atwell will chip it up the wall. It's kept in along the corner. Turned ahead. The Hat-Tricks can't clear. Powell from the point, his shot blocked by the Hat-Tricks, chipped out to center. Bouncing puck for Tom Mealy in the neutral zone. Stops at the Binghamton line, feeds across. 30 seconds in, and the Hat-Tricks can't hold on in the offensive end. Binghamton right back into the Hat-Trick zone. Left wing Yates streaking down low. The shot tipped up and out by Lazaro. 39 seconds in. A face-off will come up in the Hat-Trick zone. No score early on in the first.
Yeah, good job by Lazaro there, skating right alongside Yates and got his stick in the way and deflected that one out of the crowd. You know, when it's a best-of-3 series, Josh, you can't wait to find your game. You got to find your game real quickly. And now tonight, facing elimination, that's exactly what the Hat-Tricks have to do.
Binghamton wins the draw near circle. Hat-Tricks end 45 seconds into the first of game 2. Danbury takes over, far corner of its own end. Ojic will steer ahead, and Anderson takes out the center, churning his way into the offensive zone. Right side will wrist it. It's blocked by Pekarski. Rebound toward the slot, and Binghamton will take over. 1 minute in, Pekarski takes up. He was not in the lineup for Binghamton last night and has joined the Black Bears tonight in Danbury. Hat-Tricks turn it right back into the Binghamton end. Liskowitz leaves it to the far corner, steered aside by Anderson behind the net, and Yarwood will take over for the Black Bears. 1:15 in, no score. Ivashkin across the Hat-Tricks line to the left. Feeds D'Angelo out in front on the backhand. He scores! 1:23 into the first in game 2, and Binghamton strikes first. Gino D'Angelo on the breakaway beats DeSalvo, and the Black Bears have the early lead in game 2.
Well, what happened there was the veteran defenseman Garrett Gallagher is the one that got caught in the neutral zone, and the rookie Johnny McDonald was the one that was back, and it was a 2-on-1. He played it as best as he could, but a neat feed from Ivashkin to D'Angelo, and he's able to slip it between the pads of DeSalvo, and it's a quick 1-0 hole for Danbury.
Binghamton back into the Hat-Tricks end. Vanderweel 140 in, far corner in the Hat-Trick zone. Strom around behind the cage, taken down. The Hat-Tricks will find the puck behind the Danbury net, and Ruiz will steer up the near wall. Levesque will skate forward on the right wing. Outlets to Bonnell, streaking into the offensive zone, right circle, and fans on the pass toward the slot. Turns around, has the puck back in the corner. Ruiz behind the Binghamton net, comes around, wraparound try, kicked out by Liskowitz, and steered out to center by the Black Bears. 2:10 into the first, 1-0 Binghamton early on in game 2. The Black Bears trying to eliminate the third seed Hat-Tricks in their own building. Danbury works through center. Mealy will fire off the edge of the net. He has the rebound back in the near corner. Turns it up high. Lazaro will shoot. It is saved by Liskowitz. Rebound in front. Dowda can't get there. Binghamton out to center with Yates. 2:30 into the first. 1-0 Binghamton. Hat-Tricks tip back into the offensive end. Fitzgerald takes over for the Black Bears. 2 goals in game 1. He'll serve it into the Hat-Tricks end to the far corner. Lazaro back behind his own cage. Banks behind the net for Pepe, who turns up the wall. Kuznetsov in the neutral zone, working his way left to right. Backhands in on to the side of Liskowitz, and Binghamton will take over. Fitzgerald up to Yates, who spins around in his own end and plays across the Powell. Yates upended in the Hat-Tricks offensive zone. He is slow to get up, and the Hat-Tricks work into the offensive end. It is a shot. It is tipped up and into the corner. Hat-Tricks take over at the point. Gallagher fires off the post. Rebound Anderson at side of the net. Liskowitz makes the stop with the glove, and they push and shove at the side of the Binghamton cage. Anderson involved with Yates. Yates was the player who was down in the Binghamton zone. He got up, joined the play. The Hat-Tricks got a shot off. Ojic has lost his helmet, as has Anderson in front. And we'll see if there's penalties out of this. 3:20 into the first. Binghamton on top by 1 early, and the Hat-Tricks with their best chance so far there.
Yeah, I mean, Liskowitz was beaten cleanly by that shot by Gallagher. Not only did it hit the post, it hit the inside of the post, Josh, but it came caroming right back out. Then Anderson was on the rebound, and Liskowitz, who we talked about, is that big netminder, 6'4", 240, but he's mobile. He can move, and he covers a lot of ground there, and he did exactly that in stopping Corey Anderson. And somehow there are no penalties being called here. Yates was still angry at the hit that he took, where he was slow to get up. And so when the whistle sounded, and Anderson's trying to jam the puck in, Yates literally jumped on his back and started throwing punches. Then Corey lost his helmet. Corey started throwing punches, but nobody, not Anderson, not Yates, nobody gets a penalty somehow out of that mix. And the Danbury bench not happy about it. And now Corey Anderson is yelling at Yates. Yates turned his back on him. They're each in their respective benches.
The other thing about that is Yates is someone who plays almost the entire game for this Binghamton team. If he is injured from that hit, that is something to keep an eye on. The hat-tricks in the offensive zone, win the draw and turn behind the net. Levesque plays into the far corner. Binghamton finds there. D'Angelo banks the center. Hat-tricks take over in the neutral zone. Johnny McDonald rips it in off the glass. It goes deep to the Black Bears end, and Binghamton will start up right to left. 3:40 into the first. 1-0 Binghamton on top. Mo Levesque into the hat-trick end, tips by. Levesque will chase in the corner, works it ahead, and trying to power it forward, cannot get it by. Ivashkin in the corner. D'Angelo there as well. Puck hops behind the hat-trick's net, and Atwell will take over for Danbury. Moving left to right into the neutral zone. Chipping by, sneaks into the offensive end, into the corner. Takes it behind the Binghamton net and backhands out in front. Had Tom Mealy streaking. It was intercepted by Levesque. He will chip it out to center. Hat-tricks take over there. 4:15 into the first. 1-0 Binghamton. Levesque forces the turnover in center. Black Bears into the Danbury end. Right side, Strom cuts down low. Trying on the wraparound. Lost control into the corner. He is crushed by Mealy. Strom is down in the corner of the hat-tricks end. Danbury will carry up through center. Steve Mealy in the neutral zone circles back into his own end and will take it back. The hat-tricks work forward. Atwell on the stretch pass across right wing. Mealy into the offensive end. Steve back to Tom, right circle. Shot in front, kicked out by Liskowitz. The hat-tricks couldn't find the rebound. Ballar up the near side. Strom able to make his way to the bench. The hat-tricks work forward. Dowda into the Binghamton end. It's taken by Kirkby on the right side. Kirkby circles into the hat-trick's end. Sticked away by DeSalvo at the front of the net. It is stopped. Dowda will take it ahead. Ojic takes over in his own end. 5:10 into the first. 1-0 Binghamton early on in game two. Black Bears won game one on Monday night in overtime in Binghamton. And the hat-tricks trying to stave off elimination at home tonight. Into the offensive end. Danbury goes to the far circle in the offensive zone. Right side, it is shot from Anderson. Turned away, side of the net. Kuznetsov lays a hit. It trickles by and goes up the wall for the hat-tricks to bat it down at center. Gallagher takes over, pushes ahead. It's in Ojic skates. Anderson dumps in to the offensive end to our right. 5:45 into the first. 1-0 Binghamton. The Black Bears shove it all the way down. It goes wide of DeSalvo. 5:53 into the first. And we will step aside from Danbury. 1-0 Binghamton early on in game two.
Well, Josh, New Haven Nighthawk Brewing is brewed right here in Connecticut and featured at the Rabbit Hole. New Haven Night Brewing Company is the beverage of choice at the Danbury Arena. Grab a cold one and party like you're in the Elm City. Jim Cerny, Josh Starr back at Danbury Arena, and Steve Mealy laying the wood behind the Danbury net there. He's not a big guy, but boy, that was an absolutely perfect check into the back wall that took out Emil Strom and took him a while to get off the ice.
Hat-tricks offensive zone draw. They cannot hold the puck in the offensive end, and it is Binghamton to take out. Strom, I believe, still on the bench for Binghamton. We'll see if he takes another shift in the next couple minutes. The hat-tricks in the neutral zone can't hold on. Yates into the hat-tricks end, left side, Jurich at the circle. His rip is gloved by DeSalvo. 6:20 into the first. 1-0 Binghamton, and don't want to leave Jurich open at the circle like that too often tonight.
Yeah, and now Kirkby and Ruiz had a little something going on that last shift. And after the whistle, as Ruiz was skating to the bench, he kind of slapped Kirkby in the pads as he went by into the shin pads, and then Levesque took up the argument with Kirkby, who of course scored the game-winning goal last night.
Hat-tricks in their own end. Binghamton wins the draw to Salvo out of the net, leaves it up the far side. Hat-tricks scoop ahead, and at the blue line, Binghamton dumps it right back down low. Atwell behind his own net, up the near wing, and Kirkby intercepts. Looking towards the front of the net, stopped by the Hat-tricks, and played ahead by Dowda, chipping into the offensive zone. Left to right, Hat-tricks can't catch up to it on the forecheck. Binghamton will take over. Fitzgerald up the near wing for Kirkby. Just about 7 minutes gone in the first. Binghamton up 1-0 in game 2 of this best of 3. Black Bears up 1-0 in the series, and they take over in the Hat-tricks end. Yates far circle, cuts toward the slot. High slide will go down low. The wrist shot blocked away by DeSalvo, sliding across to his right. Hat-tricks turn it forward, and Steve Mealy will shuttle it out to center. Yates back into the Hat-tricks end to our left. He dangles between his legs. The chip on goal, and DeSalvo again makes the stop. The Hat-tricks on the back heel right now. 7:18 into the first, already down 1.
Yeah, and Yates on that shift had 2 excellent scoring opportunities. DeSalvo with a blocker save on 1, and then holding his ground along the left post there after a great move between the legs by Yates, putting the puck between his legs and then trying to shoot it from inside 5 feet.
Hat-tricks down 1-0, just over 7 into this game. Hat-tricks in their own end win the draw and turn it to center. Ojic can't hold it there. Pekarski will find it for Binghamton. Turns up the far wall. Levesque banks into the Hat-tricks end. Ivashkin at the circle. Can't handle it. Pepe steers ahead for the Hat-tricks. Kuznetsov chips across out of his own end. Anderson up the left wing. And bodies Pekarski down. He'll shovel the puck back into his own end. And it's taken around behind the Binghamton net. Black Bears control in the corner of their own zone. Yarwood up the far side. It is Ivashkin taking off the wall. He's pestered by Ojic, but will keep the puck alive, and Yarwood will get some space behind his own net. 8 minutes in to the first period, 1-0. Binghamton leads, and the Hat-tricks trailing early in an elimination game. D'Angelo into the Hat-tricks zone, over skates. Ruiz the other way, left to right, through center. The Hat-tricks captain, 49 goals in the regular season, but the Hat-tricks are offside at the Binghamton line. 8:15 into the first.
So interesting there. As Binghamton set up behind their own net, and they were trying to set up their breakout, Ivashkin kept, skating in circles. I'm like, well, what's he doing here? Is he trying to create an option? What's he doing? No, he's trying to shed Kuznetsov, who was his shadow on the ice. I'd be interested to see if that's going to be the game plan against Ivashkin, who scored 98 points this season. Held off the score sheet last night, but has an assist already tonight. If that's the plan, is that they're going to shadow him every shift. Clearly, Kuznetsov was shadowing him every move there out on the ice.
Ivashkin tied with his teammate Juric at 98 points for the second most in the league. The Hat-tricks win the neutral zone draw. It's turned into the offensive zone. Levesque plays across Bonnell, winds, lets it fly, and it's kicked away by Merkel into the corner. And the Hat-tricks dunk it around into the near side boards. Bonnell crashes in there and works it free to Levesque. Hat-tricks turn up to the point. 2 players go down. Gallagher keeps it in and serves down low. Levesque out of the corner, looks out in front, serves it across. The shot from McDonald blocked in front. He has the rebound. Tries another. It hits Liskowitz in the mask. Goes down in front, and Binghamton chops it out to center. Dowda takes over in the neutral zone. 11 to go in the first. Hat-tricks down 1. Chipping into the offensive zone to the right. Binghamton will clear off the glass out at center. Vanderweel crashes into Steve Mealy, who lays another big hit, his second of the night, and the Hat-tricks chip into the offensive zone. Tom Mealy goes crashing into the end wall, trying to work the puck free. He has 2 Black Bears on him, and Binghamton turns it up the wall. Aldworth will clear out to center. Steve Mealy back into his own end. 10.5 to go in the first. Hat-tricks down 1 early. Atwell dances by in the neutral zone into the offensive end. He'll dump it in to the Binghamton zone. Dowda chases on the forecheck. Strome plays it up the wall. Rather, that's Fitzgerald who bats it up, and it goes out of play with 10:22 left in the first.
It's the first time you mentioned Colin Fitzgerald. Scored 2 goals last night in the series opener. Guy who scored 2 goals the entire regular season for the Binghamton Black Bears, but he came up huge last night, and that's another thing about the playoffs. Anybody can be a hero. It doesn't matter what you did all regular season, anybody can be a hero come playoff time. And, Fitzgerald came up huge for them in the opener.
Binghamton clears to center. Fitzgerald, the one getting that puck out of the zone, and he'll chase it back in as the Hat-Tricks dump in. Fitzgerald turns up the wall for Kirkby, the overtime hero for Binghamton last night. Springs Yates up the left wing. Stopped by Lazaro in the neutral zone. He'll drop back into his own end and take it over behind his own net for the Hat-Tricks. Pestered by Kirkby, it's turned up the wall. Hat-Tricks dig away at it, and it's played in. Tipped on goal, Jurich, and DeSalvo with the right toe makes the stop. Out at center, Kuznetsov on the backhand ahead. Ojic chips into the offensive zone. Under 10 to play in the first. 1-0 Binghamton. Ojic all by himself behind the Black Bears net, turns it off the back of the net, and Binghamton chips out to center. Gallagher races back for it, plays across for McDonald, and he'll carry out at center. Left to right across the Binghamton line. He'll dump in. The Hat-Tricks chase in the corner. Pekarski there will carry it around the right wing and stopped Yarwood. Ruiz down low. The blast. He scores! A tenacious forecheck from the Hat-Tricks forces the turnover, and Danbury evens it up. 9:17 left in the first, and the captain has drawn the Hat-Tricks level.
You nailed it. Let's see how much we see here as we look at the replay. Boy, that's solid work on the forecheck. Caused the turnover right there, a physical play, the hit, and then Johnny makes no mistake. He just wound up and cranked it by Liskowitz, and we are even at one apiece. And Danbury's been the more physical team. They've been good on the forecheck, and it paid off there in spades. And boy, did Johnny Ruiz finish. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities to get a lot of open ice so far in this series. He had an instant there, and that's all a guy like he needs.
And he didn't have a lot of space, you're right. He had a defenseman right on him. Gordy Bonnell just would not quit on the forecheck there.
Yeah.
Worked the puck to Ruiz, who, like you said, didn't have a lot of space, but he made it count. 49 goals in the regular season, a career high in goals and points this year with 85 points. He scored last night shorthanded, a little bit of a fortunate bounce last night. This goal, hard work from the Hat-Tricks, and they deserve to be level right now with 9:17 left in the first.
Yeah, and a goal scorer's finish as well. That's a guy who scores 49 goals. That's what some of his goals look like. It was beauty. It's an absolute beauty by Johnny. And here now you're midway through the first period. Now you're back even at 1-1. And let's talk about Gordy Bonnell for a second, too. How much they miss this guy for much of the second half of the season with that knee injury. And the chemistry that he has with Johnny Ruiz, too. And Nick Levesque. Those are three guys very familiar with each other, and they team up on the goal.
Binghamton dumps into the hat-trick zone. DeSalvo up the near wall. Bonnell hadn't played since February 20th before last night. He took a little bit last night to get into the game. Tonight makes a huge play to help tie the game for the Hat-Tricks. Danbury chucks it out of their own end, and it is flown right back in by Binghamton. Atwell will take it up the far wall, and Ruiz will take the center. Bonnell the only assist on Ruiz's goal, his second of the playoffs, and Levesque carries into the offensive zone, looks across for Tom Mealy toward the right circle. It's knocked away by Binghamton out at center. Pepe looks to lay ahead. Binghamton may have numbers, but Ivashkin over skates at the Hat-Tricks line. He has to turn back at center. Puck trickles into the hat-trick zone. Lazaro spins, looking to get it ahead, and Dowda does work it forward. Mealy on the right wing into the offensive zone. Steve Mealy slides across Dowda all the way through, far side. Tom crashing in, couldn't get the puck by Levesque, and Binghamton skates out. 8:05 to go in the first, 1-1 the score, and Pepe stops Ivashkin into the hat-trick's end, chips to center. Binghamton will take over in front of its own bench. Hat-Tricks crash in and force the turnover in the neutral zone. Lazaro will blast in from the red line, and it rips around the boards. Liskowitz from behind his own net will backhand across. Powell back around for Fitzgerald near side. He skies it out to center. Batted down by Gallagher. Kicked back to him. He plays it forward with his stick this time. And Binghamton puts it back into the hat-trick zone. 7.5 to go in the first. Tied at 1. McDonald through center, left to right. Hat-tricks into the offensive zone. Left circle. Anderson, the shot from the slot is blocked and goes wide. Back to Gallagher, right point. He blasts it. It is blocked by Vanderweel. Turns off to the far boards. Hat-tricks with some momentum here, threatening to try and take the lead. Gallagher in the near corner. Cannot get it toward the slot. Bronner crashes in, spins it down low, and the Hat-tricks chase after it. Fitzgerald there first for Binghamton. He'll chip it off the glass out to center. Aldworth to Vanderweel, banking forward into the hat-trick's end, crashing in to Anderson, and the hat-tricks find the puck. Gallagher ahead for Bunnell. He will swat it into the offensive end. Fitzgerald takes over. 6:50 to go. First period, 1-1. Late in the opening frame of Game 2 of this 3-game series. Hat-tricks down a goal. Brown from center bounces it in on Liskowitz, and he will cover up. 6:39 to go in the first. The captain, Johnny Ruiz, has tied the game for Danbury.
Well, it's a spirit of hard work. The Batchers of Litchfield Distillery, in honor of the early farmers of Northwest Connecticut, present to you the locally made Litchfield Distillery bourbon, vodka, and gin. Grab it at the rabbit hole and hoist the barrel with the hat-tricks. With 6:39 to go in the first period, we got ourselves a tie game, 1-1. Must win for the hat-tricks, and boy, was that a huge goal by Ruiz. You can feel it.
He takes the puck off the face-off, wrists it by Liskowitz, able to block it off into the corner, and it's turned to center by Binghamton. Moving up the near wing, left side is Yarwood across the hat-trick's line. He gets his stick up high on Atwell. That will be a penalty against Binghamton. Atwell down. That was almost a cross-check to the face. It looked like Atwell on his knees, and the trainer, Amy Schneider, goes out to take a look at him. I don't think there was intent there from Yarwood.
No,
but
definitely not.
It was not a great play, as it was basically a two-hand shove up high on Atwell. So the hat-tricks will head to the power play.
And it definitely wasn't. I mean, the second that he hit Atwell, and Atwell went down, and it was obvious that Atwell was in some distress, Yarwood immediately put his hand on his shoulder. He was checking, are you okay? And, Ruiz and Bunnell came over, and, Yarwood's like, he put his hands up. If I didn't mean to do that. It's an accident, it's a bad penalty, and it's a big opportunity for Danbury.
The hat-tricks 0 for 5 on the power play last night, but 6 of the first 7 penalties last night were against the hat-tricks. Tonight, they get the first power play and look to take their first lead of Game 2. Ruiz near circle, 6:20 to go in the first. The hat-trick starting a power play. He wins the draw. Left circle, it is Ruiz. Back to the point, Gallagher on the left side of the blue line, can't keep it in, and D'Angelo works at the center. Gallagher back into his own zone. Flips across for McDonald, and the hat-tricks have to start back up through center. Ruiz will tip it ahead. Bunnell back to Ruiz, racing into the offensive zone on the power play, 25 seconds into it. Gallagher shoots down low. It hits Levac and is chipped up and out by Binghamton. High stick the call against Yarwood. Hat-tricks with 1:20 left on the power play, 5 and change left in the first period. Hat-tricks in the offensive zone. McDonald keeps in at the point. Back to Atwell, back on the ice after drawing the penalty. Left side across to the right wing. Mealy skates down low into the slot. Down a backhand through the goal mouth. It goes into the corner. Anderson back to the point. Atwell rips it. Tipped wide by Bronner. It goes onto the near boards. Halfway through the power play for the hat-tricks. Tom Mealy on the right dasher. Back to the point. Atwell across left side for Anderson. Slides it to the side of the cage. Tom Mealy from the near corner takes it up high. The shot out in front, bouncing around. Bronner steering away and can't get a piece on it. Mealy has it back on the boards. Near wing, 35 to go on the power play. 5 left in the first. Tied at 1. Anderson back to the point across Tom Mealy. Fans on the pass. Merkel intercepts, chips up the wall. Corey Anderson will find it on the left side. Top of the ring, skates down low, past the hash marks, stops along the wall, plays Atwell at the point. Across for Tom Mealy, right circle, steps in, the wrist shot blocked by Merkel. That one stung him down low. Dowda has it back, left circle, 9 to go on the power play. One-timer, Dowda blocked again, turn in front, Patrick's taking away, and Liskowitz covers up. Merkel down on the ice after blocking the shot. And the Hat-Tricks with 4 seconds left on the power play will have another face-off in the offensive zone, and we'll have it when we come back. 4:29 to go in the first, tied at 1. Hat-Tricks on the power play.
Well, for lifelong care and wellness, look no further than RVNA Health. Founded and focused on care in 1914, our guiding principles have remained steadfast. A mission to serve, exceptional patient care, and a commitment to excellence in quality and service at RVNA Healthcare. And speaking of healthcare, Merkel of Binghamton is still down on the ice after blocking that shot with his lower body. Dowda cranked it up. Merkel sacrificed his body in front of his goalie, Liskowitz. And the trainer's been out with him for a couple minutes now. And now she comes back to the bench, and Merkel's on a knee. He's about to push himself up. Boy, I gotta tell you, we've seen, think about the physical play and the block shots, guys sacrificing themselves. We've seen about 3 Binghamton guys and then Atwell of Danbury all be down for, some extended periods here after getting a little dinged up.
Sacrificing the body in the playoffs, that's playoff hockey, and the Hat-Tricks with 4 seconds left on a power play looking to take an advantage. They win the draw right circle offensive zone. 4:25 to go in the first. That is turned out to center. Power play over for the Hat-Tricks, and Strom will take it back into his own end. Dropping back for Yarwood, fresh out of the box. Pekarski up the right wing and through the neutral zone. Dumps into the Hat-Tricks end near corner. Pepe will chase after it. Vanderweel up the wall. Hat-Tricks can't get out. Aldworth down low behind the net to Salvo off the end boards. Strom blocked it, and it's turned into the corner. Hat-Tricks push ahead. Levesque will find it as Pekarski tipped it in the zone, and he'll get to center and turn all the way into the offensive end. He was upended. He wants a call and doesn't get it. Pekarski will take over behind the Binghamton net to our right. 3:40 to go in a tied first period. Game 2 of the FPHL quarterfinals. Hat-Tricks down 1-0 in the series at home, looking to keep the season alive. Binghamton in the neutral zone. It is stopped at the Hat-Tricks line. The Hat-Tricks will move left to right into the offensive end. Anderson can't get in deep, and it is out at center. Atwell plucks it right back into the offensive zone. Kuznetsov will chase after Yarwood in the corner. Anderson barrels in, can't find the puck, and Yates will scream out to center across the Hat-Tricks line. On the left circle, down low, sliding down behind the goal line. Brown from his knees, able to poke the puck away into the corner. Anderson digs away at it, kicks it up the wall. Kuznetsov from the boards, finds Atwell, and the Hat-Tricks break out. Left to right, under 3 to play in the first. Kuznetsov right circle, smashes on goal. It is blocked by Liskowitz and turned into the corner. Kuznetsov getting his stick up, and that will be a penalty against the Hat-Tricks. In the corner offensive zone, Kuznetsov will be called, and it is kicked ahead by Binghamton. Through to center, Jurich will carry across the Hat-Tricks line. McDonald seals that off, and DeSalvo will play it in the corner. 2:30 left in the first. 1-1 the score. Binghamton to the power play. And a penalty that you just cannot take if you're the Hat-Tricks. We talked about staying out of the box. A penalty on the forecheck is not one that Dave McIsaac will be happy about.
Cannot take that penalty right there. Penalty deep in the offensive zone. And And not just a penalty, but an obvious one, Josh. You know, the officials got to make that call. He did. So Kuznetsov heads to the box, and we're down to the final 2:30 of the period. In a tie period, this is a huge kill right here for Danbury. They do not want to give up a late power play goal. Of course, as we talked about earlier, Binghamton 2 for 10 on the power play last night. The top power play in the league in the regular season.
Black Bears win the draw. Aldworth one-timer is blocked out by DeSalvo off glass and into the netting behind the Hat-Tricks net. 4 seconds into the power play for the Black Bears. 2:25 left in the first period, tied at 1. Ivashkin out on the ice right now for Binghamton. Tyler Jurich not on the unit out right now. 16 power play goals during the regular season. Tops in the league. The Hat-Tricks win the draw and clear to center with Atwell. Fitzgerald gloves it down in the neutral zone. 10 seconds in to the Binghamton power play. And he will start the Black Bears up as Strome takes it back into his own end. To the neutral zone on the right wing. Ivashkin across the Hat-Tricks line. Right side at the hash marks. He's turned back by Atwell to the point. Fitzgerald fires it off Ruiz. It bounces into the near boards. Ruiz barrels in, and Levac will play it down low. Aldworth steers it in front. It trickles by. Ruiz blasts it down. 40 seconds into the kill for the Hat-Tricks. A Cypress penalty kill for the first time tonight, and Binghamton back into the Hat-Trick zone. Gallagher up the near wall, can't get it past Ivashkin in the corner. It's turned to the front of the net. Strome finds it, and a penalty coming up. And
too many men on the ice.
Who will it be against? It's against the Hat-Tricks. 1:07 left on the Kuznetsov minor, and Danbury is going to be 2 men down for 67 seconds. Penalties killed the Hat-Tricks last night. A 5-on-3 goal tied the game for Binghamton. And now with a minute 36 to go in the period, Hat-Tricks will face a 2-man disadvantage late in the first. Tied at 1, Ruiz will take the face-off near side. Can't win it. Yates back to the point. Powell walks in, high slot, feeds Jurich. One-timer, he scores! 6 seconds it took. Binghamton on the man advantage. And the Hat-Tricks are down 2-1 late in the first. 1:30 left. They still have a power play, the Black Bears. As the first period winds down, it's Jurich. And he's the one who you can't let beat you on the power play. The Hat-Tricks did it right there.
You know, I'm not going to, it's going to sound weird because I'm going to say, oh, that's like Ovechkin. I'm not putting Jurich in Ovechkin's category, of course. But it's the same thing. Set him up. He's waiting there at the left circle by the dot, and he gets the one-timer, and he just blasts it by DeSalvo. And that is not only a power play goal, it's a 5-on-3 power play goal, and that was a fast power play goal. Now they have, pretty much a full second power play.
Jurich had 3 assists last night. Yates streaks into the Hat-Tricks end, turned on goal. DeSalvo covers up. 1:11 left in the first. 2-1 Binghamton. 1:35 left on a Black Bears power play as the Hat-Tricks had a bench minor for too many men.
The other key thing setting up that goal, the clean face-off win by Yates. Back to Powell, and that just set the whole gears in motion.
Face-off won by Binghamton, but it goes out to center, and Powell will have to go back for it. Kirkby into the Hat-Tricks end. A minute to go in the first period. Hat-Tricks turn it off the wall. Levesque will skate to center and move into the neutral zone. Turning off the left wing, can't get deep into the offensive zone. Powell will take over for Binghamton. Up the right side, it's Kirkby across the Hat-Tricks line, crushed by Atwell. Dowda will find it and clear all the way down. 40 seconds left in the first. 2-1. Black Bears on top. 1 minute to go on a power play for Binghamton. Yates up the left wing will get stopped by Bonnell. He turns back into his own end. 25 to go in the first period. It is Jurich in the neutral zone. Stopped by Gallagher, and he dumps all the way down. 15 to go in the period. Hat-Tricks down 1. Game 2 of a best-of-3 quarterfinal series. In the neutral zone, Gallagher steps in, intervenes, plays all the way down into the offensive zone. Short-handed, Gallagher behind the Black Bears net with 2 seconds left in the period. Works it along the wall, and the horn will sound. 23 seconds left on a power play for Binghamton when the second period begins, and the Black Bears will lead 2-1. It was Binghamton who started strong. The Hat-Tricks weathered the storm, came back, but then at the end of the period, penalties again got the best of the Hat-Tricks. Binghamton had 10 power plays last night, 2 power plays late in the first period today, and they scored on one of them. One of them isn't finished yet. They have a 2-1 lead after 20 minutes.
Yeah, and again, any penalty is not a great penalty, but those were 2 penalties you absolutely can't have, Josh. You know, on the forecheck, deep in the offensive zone, Kuznetsov takes a penalty. Then while killing a penalty, you have too many men on the ice, and you go down 2 men. It's just, it can't happen, but it did, and a good team like Binghamton will take advantage. That's exactly what they did. So, you know, if you're Danbury, you got to regroup here. The message is going to be one that they probably heard a lot the last, 28 hours or so, and that is, guess what? We got to stay out of the box against this team. We got to be a lot smarter, because Danbury did a lot of good things in that first period, I thought. I thought they were good for the most part on the forecheck. They were physical, didn't spend a whole heck of a lot of time in their own zone. That said, though, all of that is for naught when the other team comes back and you hand them the power plays and you give up the power play goal.
The Hat-Tricks are down a goal, have to finish off a penalty kill to start the second. We'll be back with the intermission report in a few minutes, and then the second period coming up next. Hat-Tricks down 2-1 after 20 minutes in Game 2.
Back here at Danbury Arena, Jim Cerny and Josh Starr with you. Hat-Tricks here in Game 2 of the quarterfinals. They trail Binghamton by the count of 2-1, and we're joined by defenseman Vinny Susi. And what'd you see out there in that first period? You know, it's a rough start. You lose last night in overtime and then kick out a goal or give up a goal really, really quickly. But I thought the team settled down and, for the most part, had a pretty good first 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing with this team is the transition play. And, you know, once we get that puck turned over, we just got to be ready to get back, have a good gap, and make sure we're getting back in our zone, picking up a guy. I think that's their big strong suit, where they can take advantage of a rush and, you know, if we're not capitalize on opportunities, I know they will.
Yeah, so, you know, Josh and I harped on this a lot. I'm sure Coach Dave McIsaac harped on it with you guys as well. Stay out of the box, stay out of the box, stay out of the box.
Yeah.
And you do that pretty much, you know, do a good job staying out of the box in the first period. but boom, you take the back-to-back penalties, 5-on-3, ends up costing you late in the period. It's a tough one to give up heading into the intermission.
Yeah, late in the year, I think we've been taking more penalties than usual. It's been tough. I think getting into playoffs, it's a little rougher game. You know, you tend to see things not get called so much, but you know, the little ticky-tacky stick plays and such like that, you know, we need to get away from and, you know, rely on our speed and stick to our angles and play in the body.
What does Binghamton do so well on the power play? They scored 2 last night on the power play. They got one here. Obviously, it was a 5-on-3, so there's a big advantage there. Big face-off win. But what do? It seems like they have so many options out there.
Yeah, absolutely. They do move the puck very well, quick, and they have a lot of strong suits out there. They got Jurich, who has, you know, played in this league for a while, and he's been doing a good job of what he does best, and he sits in that Ovechkin one-timer spot on the power play here, and you know, he's lethal. You know, they have Yates as well, and you know, their defensive core, everybody up there pretty much handles the puck well. They get bodies to the net and they get pucks to the net, and you know, that's a big thing in this game, I think. You know, just driving the guys out away from the net, and hopefully in the second period here we can, you know, get back to taking our angles right and carrying the speed into the second period.
I don't know any coach, any player that's a real fan of a best-of-3 series.
Yeah.
I know at least the best-of-5 is what you want to see, but best-of-3 is the hand that you're dealt in this league. And so when you're up 3-1, you're up 2-0, 3-1, and 4-2 last night and come out of it with an overtime loss, how deflating is that? How quickly do you just have to wash that because you have to come right back less than 24 hours later and play for your season?
Yeah, I think that's very important to wash it out and get, you know, you can remember it a little bit, you know, how the sting felt, and you know, make sure you're not getting to that point again. But you know, we got 40 more minutes here, and it's a do or die situation, and we got to bring heart for the full 40 minutes here, and you know, hopefully we are playing tomorrow.
The response tonight has to be big after one period down, but you were down early, come back with Gordy Bunnell on a great play on the forecheck. Johnny Ruiz getting the goal. What does it mean to have Bunnell back in the lineup for the playoffs? The energy he brings on the top line and making plays down in the offensive zone.
Yeah, it's huge. You know, he's a veteran. He's played in the league for a few years, and Gordy's a guy you can rely on. You know, no matter if he's 80% or 100%, you know he's going to be bringing his full heart and hard work throughout the whole game. And you know, him and Johnny are their duo is pretty strong. So once I think Gordy gets back to 100%, and I think he's very close. You know, those two will be lighting it up, and yeah, I think it's huge, especially in playoffs, and having that experience, and it's good for the room as well. You know, you have another guy with A on your chest and leader in the room, and that's great for the room as well.
You talk about experience. Tell us about your experience going up to the Southern Pro League, and you know, what that did for you in playing at, you know, the next level.
Yeah.
And you know, kind of how that sets you up moving forward in your career.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity. I played for 2 really good teams and had great coaching staffs that helped me out along the way. It's a faster game, you know, so you see a lot of things that you have to pick up on quicker, and I bring it back down, you know, back here, and I think the game is a lot smoother for me now, you know, so you see things that you didn't see, like I said, and you know, just getting that speed up from that level, and you know, you apply it to here, and you can bring it into the room in any situation. So it was a great experience, though. Hoping to be back up at that level next year. That'd be awesome. You know, but we'll see how this pans out this year.
Yeah, you know, then you came back here to Danbury, and you get hurt. So you know, I know I asked you off air beforehand, but why don't you fill the fans in on, you know, how you're feeling now? Do you feel you're 100% now?
Yeah, I feel pretty much 100% back at it. I had a little trouble with a concussion problem, and I've had a few in my history. So just wanted to make sure I was good and ready to go for playoffs. And I feel strong and feel good. I've been skating and been practicing. I played in the game in Watertown, so I feel pretty good. I'm ready to go.
So when you guys, and it's hard because there are a couple different pockets of where you guys are and everything. who's the most emotional, like, watching this game? Who's the one, like, that's hitting something, or he's yelling and screaming at the ref or whatever? Or is everybody kind of composed? And
I would say, it's funny you say that, because we had something happen in the first, and Jax is a quiet guy at most times. Well, I shouldn't say that. He likes to talk a lot, but he's a little guy. You don't see him as much. And turn around, you hear a little big slap on his leg there. I think he's been the most emotional so far tonight. And I think myself too. I mean, I'm pretty emotional about the game in any situation, any little thing that's happening. So. The more that we're supporting the guys too, the better that they're feeling in the room as well.
Yeah, so many guys have told me through the years that, especially in the playoffs, that it's so much easier to strap on the uniform and be out there playing and dealing with the highs and lows of the game, but being out there, as opposed to sitting there watching and knowing that I can't affect the outcome of this play, this period, this game.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely. This is my first playoff experience at the pro level, and it's stuff that you dream about even as a little kid. No matter what level you're at, playing in the playoffs and playing for a cup, and the chills that you get in your body, and it makes me emotional thinking about it, because you think back to a little kid, and would my little self be proud of me and the situation I'm in now. But this is a great time for hockey. This is what you play for. And you got to tie it down, bear down, and do everything that you can to win it.
Good stuff. That's Vinny Susi, hat-trick defenseman. Thanks for joining us
thank you for
in the
having
first
me.
intermission. And let's keep this thing rolling. Let's
Absolutely.
come back tomorrow and keep it rolling.
Absolutely. I'm excited to keep going here. 40 minutes, and hopefully the boys keep at her.
Good stuff. We will be back. Josh and I will be back and recap the first period. Hat-tricks trail after 2-1 here in Game 2.
Josh Starr with Jim Cerny. It is the first intermission in Danbury, game 2 of the FPHL quarterfinals. Binghamton on top 2-1 after 20 minutes and on top 1-0 in the series. The Hat-Tricks needed a response tonight. Early on, they gave up the first goal of the game. They responded with Johnny Ruiz, a great play by Gordy Bonnell on the forecheck, but penalties late in the first really kind of derailed the period for Danbury.
Yeah, absolutely, and that can't be a recurring theme, or else this is going to be a short postseason for them. Right now it's 2-1. They got to kill off the rest of the power play, and then take it from there. Get back to doing the things that they did well in the period. Again, they gave up the game-opening goal just a minute 23 in. D'Angelo's first of the postseason from Ivashkin, and again it was a turnover and a breakdown. Gallagher got caught in the neutral zone. McDonald was back against the 2-on-1, and Binghamton was able to take advantage. Then at 10:43, the Hat-Tricks did pull even. Bonnell setting up Ruiz with the snipe, his second of the playoffs. Bonnell the lone assist, but again at 18:50, it was Jurich, his first of the postseason. Guy who in the regular season scored 55 goals this year, scores his first of the postseason. Powell and Yates on the 5-on-3 power play goal in the first period. The Hat-Tricks outshot Binghamton 10-7. Hat-Tricks trail 2-1 after 1.
Elsewhere in the FPHL playoffs, the Port Huron Prowlers leading the Carolina Thunderbirds 2-1 late in the second period in Carolina. Carolina leads 1-0 in that series and outshooting Port Huron tonight 46-25.
Wow.
29 first period shots for Carolina, but only one goal for the Thunderbirds late in period number 2 there. We'll step aside real quickly and we'll come back for the second period here from Danbury. The Hat-Tricks down a goal when the second period starts after this. Second period set to start from Danbury. Josh Starr with Jim Cerny. The Hat-Tricks down 2-1 after 20 minutes. And we'll have about 20 seconds left on a penalty kill to start the second period. Hat-Tricks will go right to left in the second. Binghamton left to right. The Hat-Tricks have to stay out of the box in the second and try to get the power play going.
Absolutely. When they get the opportunities, they got to take advantage of them as well. This is a big final 24 seconds here. The kill, get a face-off win, shoot it down, and kill it, but they lose the opening face-off.
Binghamton will take over inside its own blue line. Powell turns to center, and on the left wing, Kirkby into the hat-trick zone. Far side, Atwell into the corner. 14 left on the kill. He plays it all the way down, and the Hat-Tricks will get that much-needed clear. In the Binghamton zone, turned over off the wall. Bonnell skates in, short-handed for one more second. McDonald out of the box. Hat-Tricks kill it off. Ruiz down low behind the Binghamton net. Turned out in front. Bonnell stuffs away at it. Liskowitz makes the stop. Ruiz again rips it high and wide. 35 seconds into the second. Hat-Tricks with the first chance of the middle period. puck played around to the far boards. Pepe on the right point. Down low to Bunnell. Tips it in behind the corner, and Yates will find it for Binghamton, carrying ahead to center. 50 seconds into the second period. Binghamton up 2-1. Yates circling down low behind the Hat-Tricks net. Comes out the near wing. On the circle. Cuts toward the slot. Dancing down low all the way for Yarwood, who's shot on the backhand, saved by DeSalvo. Hat-Tricks find the puck, and Pepe will leave it behind the cage for Lazaro. He spins by, 1:15 into the second, and works ahead to Dowda. Tom Mealy on the left wing, into the Binghamton zone. Left side on the near point will turn and fire down low. Merkel back on the ice after blocking that shot in the first, is into the offensive end. Binghamton down in front. The backhand goes wide. Ivashkin couldn't get a shot away on the 3-on-1 for Binghamton. Down low in the hat-trick zone. Gallagher, far wing for Steve Mealy, will work out. 1:40 into the second. Hat-Tricks down 1. Turned into the slot. Dowda left side. Drops back. No one there for the Hat-Tricks. Levac out to center on the near side. Right wing, Ivashkin into the Hat-Tricks end. He stops the clear from McDonald. It bounds into the corner. McDonald serves up the wall. Merkel kicks it down low. Hat-Tricks find it, and it's cleared back to center. 2 minutes in to the second period. Hat-Tricks down 2-1. Right side, Steve Mealy in the neutral zone. Across the Binghamton line, far wing, will play to Anderson, who chips by into the near corner. Kick to the point from Ojic, fired on goal by McDonald, sticked up and out of play by Liskowitz. 2:16 into the second.
A couple good opportunities early on, off a good penalty kill to open up the first period. Ruiz and then Bunnell down low with a couple good opportunities in the opening minute of the period, and Liskowitz was able to turn them aside. And on the flip side, boy, Binghamton had a 3-on-1 with their top goal scorer, and they came away empty. Didn't even get a shot on goal.
Hat-Tricks won the draw. Brown played it wide of the cage. It goes all the way down, and icing waved off against Binghamton. Brown into the corner. Strom takes over for the Black Bears. Cuts to the front of the net. DeSalvo pokes it away. Rebound side of the cage. Digging away. DeSalvo covers. Side of the net. The Hat-Tricks, a turnover in their own zone on the corner boards. Live to tell about it. 2:35 into the second.
Now Vanderweel came flying in, got the final poke at it, and DeSalvo was able to freeze it right along the goal line, or right before the goal line there. So the faceoff will be to the right of Pete DeSalvo.
Far circle, Hat-Tricks end. Anderson against Vanderweel. It's won by Binghamton. Turned down low. DeSalvo out of the net on the backhand. Plays into the corner. Anderson turns it up the wall, and Kuznetsov will bank it out to center. 2:45 into the second. Hat-Tricks down a goal. Fitzgerald working into the neutral zone, into the Hat-Tricks end, 2-on-1. Right circle, Fitzgerald rips it, and DeSalvo tips it over with the glove. Atwell speeds up the right wing, into the offensive zone, right side. He'll tip it down low and go behind the Binghamton net. Takes a big hit behind the cage. Works the puck to Ojic, near boards. On the backhand down low for Kuznetsov. Cycles back up high. Plays across right wing for Pepe. Far side at the point. Across the blue line, Lazaro tips to his blade and will play across. Ojic turns, fires, rebound in front. Anderson stuffs it through the blue paint. Off to the near wing. Lazaro blasts wide. Anderson has the rebound in the corner. Turning at the circle, wrist on goal, rebound in front. Kuznetsov on the backhand, stopped by Liskowitz. At the top of his crease, left a huge rebound in front. Kuznetsov couldn't beat him. 3:29 into the second.
Well, a couple good opportunities there for Danbury, including the first one by Corey Anderson. He had the wide open, gaping net, and he just shanked the shot, so it actually slid through the crease instead of going on goal. And a good save on Kuznetsov.
Hat-Tricks win the draw. Offensive zone. Bunnell across Levesque. Rips wide off a body. It bounces to the near wing. Lazaro stuffs it back down low behind the cage. Ruiz tips it toward the front. Knocked away by the paddle of Liskowitz. Bunnell in the corner. Just about 4 minutes played in the second. Hat-Tricks down a goal. Binghamton carries off the wall. Jurich out to center. Hat-Tricks retreat to their own end, and Lazaro will take over. 4 minutes gone in the second. Hat-Tricks down 1. Ruiz into the zone. Drops back for Levesque. The snap is gloved up high by Liskowitz. He'll hold on. 4:04 into the second period. Hat-Tricks trail by a goal, but a little bit of pressure in the last minute or so.
Yeah, no, really a little bit of pressure, the entire period so far. The first 4 minutes, but also some careless play in their own end that they really need to clean up. Binghamton could have had 2 really good opportunities. Odd man rushes after mistakes by the Hat-Tricks.
Face off Binghamton end far circle. It is won by the Black Bears, turned off to the near boards, and Kirkby will backhand to center. McDonald steps into it there. Gallagher turns it over in the neutral zone. Kirkby across the Hat-Tricks line, right circle, twirls it back for Yates. The wrist shot into the breadbasket on DeSalvo. He holds on with no rebound. 4:19 into the second. Hat-Tricks down 1, and Binghamton looking like a quick strike counterattack there up the wing.
Yeah, it's interesting. You haven't called Jurich's name a lot in this game. I think Danbury's done a good job shutting down Ivashkin and Jurich at even strength. Of course, Jurich scored on the power play. They've done a good job against both of those top scorers so far at even strength.
4.5 into the second. Hat-Tricks down a goal. Game 2. 2-on-1 into the offensive zone. It's a pass off from Dowda. It goes wide of Tom Mealy, and then the puck is played off a stick up out of play in the Binghamton zone. Hat-Tricks won that faceoff and got out quickly into the Binghamton zone, but the pass was a little bit past Tom Mealy, and the shot goes off a stick up and out of play. 4:33 into the second. Hat-Tricks down 2-1. Game 2 of the FPHL quarterfinals, down 1-0 in a best-of-3 series. Tom Mealy and Steve barrel in on the faceoff puck, digging away, and the Hat-Tricks can't win it. It's Ivashkin out to center, left to right, into the Hat-Tricks end, trickling to the side of DeSalvo. He leaves for Atwell, who hammers up the wall of back there for Binghamton. Takes it off the wall. Ivashkin, one-timer in the slot, flubbed it into the corner. It's Boilar out in front. It goes behind Ivashkin, and Steve Mealy turns ahead to Tom up the right wing. Into the offensive zone. Tom's pass back for Steve. Off a stick, around behind the Binghamton net. Turned up the wall. Dowda takes it off the wall. Tipped in front, and it is played back to the point. Lazaro left side will wrist it from the point. It is hit, and a penalty coming up against Binghamton. When we come back, the Hat-Tricks to the Ferrer Electric power play. Down 2-1 early in the second.
Well, Josh, the Hat-Tricks are going to the Ferrer Electric power play. You need power, Pete? You need power. Pete is going to light you up. Dependable, reliable, and services you can trust. Pete Ferrer and his team get you the juice to turn you loose. Light them up. Ferrer Electric, LLC.com. Big power play coming up here. Big Ferrer Electric power play for the Hat-Tricks. And I thought on their first power play, Josh, they spent far too much time on the outer edges, not getting the puck into the middle, into good shooting lanes, and did not make Binghamton move enough. You know, Binghamton was able to stay kind of in the 4-man box, and they didn't have to move a lot. Danbury, quicker passes and get the puck to the net.
0 for 1 so far tonight, and 0 for 5 last night in Game 1. They win the faceoff, but Binghamton clears all the way down. 10 seconds into the Hat-Tricks power play. 5.5 into Game 2 in the second period. It is Boilar for a cross check. The Hat-Tricks in their own zone will have to start back up. Right to left, Gallagher from behind his own cage. Turns up the right wing. It is Ruiz through center. Speeding across the Binghamton line toward the high slot. Will wrist it. It's tipped wide. Bunnell chases in the corner. Goes down. And the puck under Bunnell. He keeps it alive for the Hat-Tricks. It's played up to the point. Gallagher steps down trying to keep it in. Binghamton finds it and steers to center. McDonald races back 6 minutes in to the second. Hat-Tricks on the power play for 1:10 and back in their own zone. Down 2-1, Game 2. Have to win or else the season is over for the Hat-Tricks. Gallagher cuts toward the front of the net on the backhand. It's saved by Liskowitz, digging away. Ruiz can't get it free. Liskowitz covers. 59 seconds left on the power play.
Good move there by Gallagher, powering to the net. Came up left wing, and I don't think he was looking to shoot that puck at first, but he saw a lane and he took it, went aggressively to the net, did not get off a great shot. Liskowitz made the first save, but left the rebound there. Danbury couldn't get to it.
Hat-Tricks win the draw, 56 to go on the power play, 13:35 to go in the second period. Bronner, side of the net, off to Tom Mealy, far side. It is shot and blocked in front. Dowda has the rebound on the left wing. Backhand down low for Bronner, plays back to Kuznetsov on the near dasher. At the circles, will look down low, tries to go up over the shoulder of Liskowitz. Another try, it goes wide, and Binghamton carries out. Powell on the left wing, dumps all the way in on DeSalvo. He gloves it down, and 25 seconds left on the power play. He'll shovel it out to center. Cross ice feed, Kuznetsov into the zone, left wing. 20 seconds left on the Hat-Tricks power play. 7 minutes into the second. Danbury down a goal. Bronner on the near corner, overlaps with Kuznetsov. He lost the puck, played it back to the point. No one there for Danbury. It goes out, and that'll just about do it for the Hat-Tricks power play with 5 seconds left. Atwell from his own blue line, right to left, into the offensive zone. Dowda on the circle, cuts back, out of the box is Boilar, and Dowda will turn it around back behind the Binghamton net. Tom Mealy, far side, cuts toward the corner. Bronner takes over there. Backhand toward the point, and it's kicked away by Boilar. Atwell has to hurry to get over, and he does. Shoveling it back in. 2-on-1 for Binghamton, though, left to right. It's Aldworth steering out in front. One-timer to Salvo, slides across to the right. Stones Boilar, and the Hat-Tricks clear it up the wall and out. Icing waved off, and a huge stop from Pete DeSalvo. 12:08 to go in the second. Hat-Tricks trail by 1, and Ojic lays a huge hit in the neutral zone. Danbury finds the puck with Pepe and will circle back into his own end. Lazaro up the right wing for Ojic. Dumps it into the Binghamton zone, under 12 to play in the second. Fans getting into it after the big physicality in the neutral zone from the Hat-Tricks. Anderson behind the offensive net will take it out toward the point. Lazaro will shoot. It is tipped wide. Steve Mealy in the corner has it for the Hat-Tricks. 11:35 to go in the second. Down a goal. Game 2 of the quarterfinals. In the corner, Pekarski finds it for Binghamton, turns up the wall. Pepe keeps in right point, slides across the blue line. The wrist shot through traffic, gloved by Liskowitz, and he holds on.
All right, I like what I'm seeing here from Danbury. They're getting shots to the net. I thought at the end of the power play, instead of dancing around and working around the edges, I like that Kuznetsov put 2 shots on net, got rebounds, and even though Danbury didn't score, it created opportunities. They're starting to put more pucks to Liskowitz now, getting more shots through.
Hat-Tricks offensive zone. They win the draw, and McDonald will turn it side of the cage, turn out in front, and is blocked by Yates. He drops it behind the net. Boilar will take up the far wing. Kicked back into the zone by Gallagher. Boilar back out to center. Far wing, Gallagher trying to settle. He is hit up high. That will be a penalty on Binghamton as Jurich touches up. Gallagher holding his face up high, and he was clipped. Looked like with a high stick. The Hat-Tricks will head back to the Ferrer Electric power play, and with 11:03 to go in the second, a great chance for Danbury to tie this game back up.
Yeah, and immediately he went to the face to see if he got not only, well, we know he got clipped if he got cut. And he did not. No blood, so no extra minor. Just be a 2-minute power play, and maybe Danbury can build on that last power play. I thought the second power play was better than the first. They got to continue, keep getting pucks to the net, because Liskowitz does give up rebounds. Takes up a large part of the net, but he does give up rebounds. There have been some juicy ones.
11:03 to go, second period. Hat-Tricks down 1, game 2, starting a power play. Yates off for a high stick. Far point, Steve Mealy, stopped by D'Angelo, but Mealy finds the puck right back. Serves down low in the corner. Bonnell on the wall, can't get by Powell. His clear attempt, stopped by Mealy, but D'Angelo finds and clears. 20 seconds into the power play for the Hat-Tricks. 10:40 to go in the second. Hat-Tricks down by 1. A must-win for Danbury to keep the season alive. Right to left, Ruiz on the power play. Across the Binghamton line, skates in at the slot. His shot is stuffed away and cleared by the Black Bears. 1:20 to go on the power play.
Yeah, Johnny tried to go 1-on-3, and the odds not in his favor, and the result not in Danbury's favor.
McDonald back through the neutral zone, dumps into the offensive end, cannot get it just by the blue line, and it's back down in the hat-trick zone. Halfway through the power play, Atwell cycles back in his own end, takes it through center. He's up in it. That will be a penalty against Binghamton, and the hat-tricks will get a two-man advantage for 58 seconds. 10:01 left in the second period. Down a goal in game 2. Newburgh will go off for a trip, and the hat-tricks have an outstanding opportunity to try and tie this game up.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see Billy McCreary, who's working on the bench along with Coach Dave McIsaac, and Billy giving out a lot of instruction right now to Adam Dowda as the 5-man group goes out. Listen, hey, it was a 1-1 game until late in the second period when Binghamton scored a 5-on-3 power play goal. Binghamton still leads it 2-1. Can Danbury pull even with a 5-on-3 of their own? 58 seconds on the two-man advantage.
Anderson wins the draw to Dowda. Halfway through regulation, down a goal in game 2. Hat-tricks on a two-man advantage. Tom Mealy left point to Atwell, back to Mealy in the center. Atwell right circle, overlaps with Mealy, skating left side, will wrist through traffic. Bronner tips it off Liskowitz and wide. Dowda takes over in the corner, 40 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Dowda, low circle near wing, will drop back to Atwell, back down low. It is played through the goal mouth. Tom Mealy has to circle back on the far side. Back up high in the zone, 25 to go on the two-man advantage. Across Atwell, the blast! It is gloved by Liskowitz through traffic. 22 seconds left on the 5-on-3 for the hat-tricks, and Liskowitz stops Atwell. We'll step aside from Danbury. 9:25 left in the second. Hat-tricks down by 1 on the power play when we come back.
Well, if you want the best milkshake you ever had and you want to taste greatness, then hit the Holiday Diner on White Street and feast off their menu. It's breakfast, lunch, it's dinner with George and the crew. Check them out on White Street. It's the Holiday Diner.
Hat-tricks on the power play, a 5-on-3 for 22 more seconds. 9:25 left in the second, and down a goal. A great chance here.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've had some good opportunities. Talking about how Liskowitz has been giving up some juicy rebounds. He didn't there. That shot from Atwell, which was a power shot through traffic, he gloved it cleanly.
Hat-tricks win the draw, right side. McDonald slides across Ruiz, lets it fly, kicked out, right leg. Liskowitz near boards, 15 to go on the 5-on-3. Ruiz back out in front, digging away. The hat-tricks can't find it. It's cleared to center. 8 seconds on the 5-on-3. McDonald back in the neutral zone. Off left wing, Bennell skates into the offensive end. Yates gets out of the box. A minute left on a power play for Danbury. Out in front, Ruiz turns it side of the net. It's loose in front, and they dig away. It's covered by Liskowitz. Has it under his right leg. The hat-tricks so close to finding a loose puck in front, but Liskowitz, desperation mode, able to make the save with 8:56 left in the second.
A little give and go there. Ruiz to Levesque, back to Ruiz, and Johnny just couldn't get the full shot off. Might have been deflected, or I don't know if he kind of shanked the shot, but he didn't get the full mojo, if you will, into that shot. Liskowitz made the save and then got help from his defense covering it up.
55 seconds left on the power play. Hat-tricks win the draw, under 9 to play in the second. Down a goal, game 2. Down 1-0 in the series, best of 3. Tom Mealy, far circle, will take over on the power play. Back to Dowda at the point. Pepe across left wing. Kuznetsov switches sides, off to the right circle. Down low, a wrist on goal through Bronner's screen, and Liskowitz again seals it off with no rebound.
Good job by Kuznetsov, like what he did there. He used his two best assets, his wheels, his skating ability, and his good shot. Got himself into a good position. That was a good opportunity. Unfortunately, Danbury loses the face-off here.
Out to center. Dowda won it back. It just went by Pepe. And with 30 seconds left on the power play, the hat-tricks start back up ice. Right to left. Near wing, Tom Mealy into the offensive zone. 8:20 to go in the second. Down a goal. left circle. Mealy down low for Kuznetsov, back up high. Pepe, touch pass right side for Mealy, back to the point. Blast, Pepe tipped wide by Bronner. On the near wing, Kuznetsov back to the point. Pepe with 5 to go on the power play. Puck hops across. Tom Mealy back across. Kuznetsov rips it on goal. Liskowitz dives across to make the stop, and that'll do it for the power play. Bronner back out in front, turned away by Boilar into the corner. Hat-tricks converge along the near boards. Dowda working it free off the wall, dances toward the slot, backhand to the circle, far wing. Mealy back across. Kuznetsov rips. It's blocked by Merkel. Out all the way down the ice. Merkel stung again by that one. He is not 100% after blocking that shot earlier on in the game. He will struggle off to the bench. Back at full strength, 7:30 to go in the second. Hat-tricks down by 1. Steve Brown out to center. Anderson into the zone, leaves for Steve Mealy right wing. Dumps down low behind the net. Anderson tips by for Ojic, crashing in. It pops out in front. Liskowitz will cover up. 7:18 left in the second. Hat-tricks down a goal and some great chances, but Owen Liskowitz has been outstanding in this game. 21 saves on 22 shots.
And that last one, well, not the last one, but that one there on Kuznetsov was a beautiful save. Just diving across the crease. Kuznetsov didn't shoot it immediately. That little hesitation may have cost him that little chance to get it past Liskowitz. Gave him just that extra second to get across the crease, which is what he did. It was a great save.
Binghamton wins the draw, dumps into the hat-trick zone. Taken far corner, Jurich out in front. Brown intercepts, rips it up the wall. Steve Mealy looking to get out to center. He has Anderson up the right wing across the Binghamton line. Under 7 to play in the second. Hat-tricks down a goal. Anderson drops for Steve Mealy, trying to split 2 Black Bears. Cannot get by. Jurich on the right wing will sky it out to center. Glove down by Atwell, but it goes right to Yates into the hat-trick zone down low, and he is ripped off the puck. Gallagher takes over up the near wall, and Ruiz will take it off the boards. The outlet ahead, Steve Mealy is stopped at the Binghamton line, and offside called against the hat-tricks. Great job by Garrett Gallagher back to disrupt the chance for Binghamton with 6:28 left in the second. Hat-tricks down a goal.
Yeah, Garrett Gallagher had to make up some space there, and he did in no time. It's a great effort by him, making sure Yates did not get that shot off, because he was in clean otherwise against DeSalvo.
Neutral zone face-off just outside the Binghamton zone. 6:28 left in the second. Hat-tricks down 2-1 in game 2. Down 1-0 in the series. Ruiz wins the draw, skates into the zone. The blast is smothered by Liskowitz. Again, no rebound from the Binghamton netminder.
Yeah, Danbury is starting to really pile up the shots now. They are out-shooting the Black Bears 14-6 so far in the middle 20 minutes.
Hat-tricks digging away at the face-off right circle offensive end. Binghamton finds Strom, will backhand out to center. Pushed ahead by Gallagher, dumped back into the hat-trick zone. Wide of DeSalvo, icing called against Binghamton with 6:14 to go in the middle period. 2-1, Black Bears lead.
Well, we might be, at least to this point, we're kind of seeing what we saw last night, in the middle 20 minutes. Danbury outshot Binghamton 17-5 in that middle period, yet each team scored 1 goal, and Danbury was unable to pull away, ended up getting tied in the third period and, of course, losing in overtime.
Binghamton wins the faceoff in its own zone, turns up the near wing. Vanderweel off to Strom toward the hat-trick's end. Brown plays the body, and Atwell plays the puck up to the neutral zone, where Pekarski takes over for Binghamton. His chip pass forward taken by Levesque out at center. Hat-tricks go in offside at the Binghamton line. 5:53 left in the period.
Well, that was a really late whistle by the linesman on a play that wasn't even close. I mean, it was clearly an offside there, but he got it right, so the faceoff will be just outside the blue line. And if we get to a Game 3 tomorrow night, a winner-take-all Game 3, 7:30 puck drop right here at Danbury Arena, Josh.
You can get your tickets at DanburyHattricks.com. If the game does not happen, you will get a credit or a refund. So get your tickets now, and the Hat-tricks have to get the job done on the ice, and we can enjoy a game tomorrow night. 3-on-2 for the Hat-tricks. Tom Mealy across right side. Steve tipped in front. Dowda, and it is stopped by Liskowitz on the tip in front. Adam Dowda was able to get a piece of it, but Liskowitz again, coming up with a big stop for Binghamton.
Yeah, that was a good rush there by Danbury. Like the looks of that rush, like Dowda going to the net. I don't know if he got his stick to it or it was his skate, but it was still a good save by Liskowitz. Good reaction.
Binghamton wins another face-off in its own zone, but the Hat-Tricks force a turnover. Dowda out in front, tipped down low in the air and gloved by Liskowitz on the bouncing puck in front of the net. Tom Mealy crashed in, forced the turnover. Dowda played it back down low. The Mealys combined to tip it on goal, but Liskowitz able to make the stop.
Liskowitz is starting to feel it, Josh. You just see when the goalie starts, kind of building confidence and starting to react with swagger. That's what he's got right now. It was after that save he made on Kuznetsov. He jumped up, and you could see it was like he was yelling. His helmet was going up and down. Here he gloved this one, kind of made a fancy move with the glove after. He's feeling it right now.
5:20 to go in the second. Hat-Tricks offensive zone. They win the draw, but Dowda rips down Yates, and that will be a penalty against the Hat-Tricks. A high stick against Danbury, and blood is on the ice. It will be a 4-minute power play for Binghamton. Yates down in his own end, just at the top of the far circle, and you can see the blood dripping on the ice. 5:20 to go in the second, and the Hat-Tricks to a 4-minute penalty kill, down 2-1.
Yeah, that is a tough break right there. Got to be responsible for your stick. And that happens in the offensive zone as well. Another offensive zone penalty taken by Danbury. And, here's the other thing, and this happens in hockey all the time, all different levels. One team keeps getting opportunities on the power play. Danbury has had 3 power plays this period, including a 5-on-3. They did not convert. Now, swings back the other way. Now Binghamton gets a 4-minute power play. The pressure is really, really on Danbury on this kill right now.
Binghamton 2 power play goals last night, another tonight. Has the Black Bears on top in Game 2. 5:20 left in Game 2. The Black Bears ahead 1-0 in the series after the overtime win last night in Binghamton. And 4 minutes of a power play starting for the league's best power play. It came into the playoffs at 23.6% from the regular season. 2 for 10 last night. And back tonight already with a power play goal. Far circle, Hat-Tricks end, 5:20 left in the second. Binghamton wins the draw. Levac back to the point. It is Jurich all the way across Yarwood near side. 5:10 to go in the second. Hat-Tricks down a goal on the penalty kill. Ruiz barrels in behind his own net. Brown finds the puck for the Hat-Tricks, pins it toward the wall, looks to get it free. Atwell at the side of the net can't work it free, and they dig away at it. Behind the Danbury net, it hops into the corner, and they'll blow the whistle behind the Hat-Tricks net. 4:58 to go in the second. Hat-Tricks with 3:38 left on a kill and down a goal when we come back.
Well, Stony Hill Dental Care has served as the leader and preferred provider of dental care in Bethel, Connecticut. Go see Dr. K. He'll make you look like $1 million and feel like it too. The official team dentist of your Danbury Hat-Tricks. And, these two teams played 5 times in the regular season in this building. Danbury won 4 of the 5 games, and they were all shootouts. You had the 10-7 game. 7-5, 8-5, 7-3 was the most recent Danbury win here on home ice against the Black Bears. And here we got this tight defensive, real playoff type game 2-1 Binghamton late in the second period.
Binghamton wins the faceoff in the hat-trick zone on the power play. Under 5 to play in the second. Binghamton up a goal with 3:30 left on the power play. Jurich left circle, rips it high off the glass. It bounces toward the slot. Yarwood finds it, and his pass across hits Levesque. Turn back down low. Atwell intercepts ahead to Levesque, and he'll shovel all the way out. It goes up and out of play, and that may be a penalty against the hat-tricks for delay of game. It is. A full 2 minutes of a 5-on-3 for the Black Bears coming up. 4:37 left in the second, and the hat-tricks have their work cut out for them here. Far circle, Danbury end. It is Ruiz to take it, and it's won by Binghamton. Yates wins the draw back. Powell, left side, back to Jurich. The hat-tricks down 2 men and down a goal late in the second. Backs against the wall in an elimination game. Far circle, Jurich, the blast, he scores! His second power play goal of the night, and Binghamton is up by 2. 4:24 left in the second, and the Black Bears power play strikes again. It's second of the night, fourth of the series, and Binghamton still has 3 minutes and 4 seconds left on the original penalty to Dowda.
Well, that's a real backbreaker right there. And Jurich is not only his second goal of the night, not only his second power play goal of the night, Josh, but his second 5-on-3 power play goal of the game. And it was a blast. DeSalvo couldn't come up with it, and that is, it's a big goal for Binghamton, and the hill is that much higher to climb right now for the hat-tricks, and is that much higher to climb right now for the hat-tricks, and you really can't even think about mounting your comeback until you kill off the rest of this penalty.
So Levesque exited the box, but I think that was a little bit early. They're going to say that the penalty that comes off is the first half of the double minor to Dowda.
Yeah.
And Levesque is going to have to stay in the box, and it will remain a 5-on-3 for 147 for the Black Bears. This is real danger for the hat-tricks.
Yeah, that ends up being even a worse situation because it remains on the 5-on-3. So I'm trying to add them up in my head here.
The original penalty was on Dowda, so that would be the one that comes off. It happened first.
Because they're not concurrent penalties. So there was his 2 minutes, then his other 2 minutes, and then Levesque got 2 minutes after that. So that's the right call. And Levesque is airing somebody out right now. I don't know if it's an official or somebody from Binghamton. Bottom line is another minute 47 of a 5-on-3 here. This one could get away from Danbury.
It's 3-1 Binghamton, 5-on-3 for the Black Bears for 147 more, 4:20 left in the second period. Binghamton wins the draw in the neutral zone. It's Bronner, Gallagher, and Brown for the hat-tricks, the trio. Yates across the hat-tricks line, chips it wide behind the net. DeSalvo will take it and clear it. It hits a body, almost bounces into the net. It goes wide, and another penalty. No, not coming up against the hat-tricks. Now they will call one, and it will be Kirkby who goes off.
Fans love it. The players on the hat-tricks bench love it too.
Kirkby thought he was hit with a high stick. He went down, and the penalty went against him. He's showing the referee he thinks he was hit. We'll see what the call is against him, but that will make it a 5-on-4 for Binghamton. A 4-on-3 rather.
Are they going to call him for a dive or?
We'll see if we can, when we get the call, we'll.
Embellishment?
It may be
dive.
Embellishment. Either way, the hat-tricks.
Oh boy, right off the face-off, Johnny Ruiz pushes it up ahead, right on net. And Liskowitz was really alert there. So Johnny trying to pull a fast one, almost did.
4 minutes to go in the second. Hat-tricks down 2. It's 4-on-3 for Binghamton for a minute 15. And then it will be 4-on-4. Hat-tricks will get one man out of the box. In the neutral zone, Yarwood steps across the Hat-tricks line, swinging across right side. 1 minute left on the 4-on-3 for Binghamton. Yarwood, right side, down low, side of the cage, Yates. Skates around behind the net. It is diving, the call against Kirkby. Right side, Yates. Back across, Jurich, left side. He scored twice from that spot tonight. He will wrist it. It goes wide. DeSalvo did not see it, and it bounces into the corner. Chipped out by the Hat-tricks, and the Hat-tricks are fortunate. That shot missed the net. Back through center, Yates left to right across the Danbury line. 34 left on the 4-on-3 for Binghamton. Yates all the way around behind the net. Is sealed off in the corner. Puck hops back to the point. Yarwood skates in, winds, fakes the shot, passes down low for Yates. Near hash mark, skating inside the circle. Fans on the pass back, has it back. 15 to go on the 4-on-3. 2:50 to go in the second. Hat-tricks down 2. Binghamton in the Danbury end. Yates winds, fakes the shot. Yarwood, the blast, right circle. It is DeSalvo sliding to his left to make the stop.
Man, Binghamton really likes to set up that one-timer from the circles. Obviously, when you got Jurich as your trigger man on one side, that's an obvious setup. But here they went to the other side, but it's the same play. Just looking for the open guy for the one-timer from the circle. In this case, it was Yarwood, and DeSalvo made the save.
2:45 to go in the second period. Hat-tricks down 2 goals in an elimination game for Danbury. 8 seconds left on a 4-on-3 for Binghamton. Hat-tricks in their own end. The face-off won by Danbury and cleared all the way down. That'll do it for the power play for Binghamton. In 10 seconds, the Hat-tricks will get 20 seconds of a power play. Yarwood left to right into the neutral zone, and in the Hat-tricks zone, he will be stopped. Levesque will spring forward right to left across the offensive line. Hat-tricks on the power play for 20 seconds. Levesque in the near corner, stopped. Atwell finds it. Back down low. Levesque plays it back up high, and it goes by out to center. Bunnell has to chase back for it. Gets it back to Lazaro, and he will outlet ahead. Pass tipped in to the Hat-tricks offensive zone. It will go for an icing against Danbury. And in 1 second, Kirkby will get out of the box. We'll be back to full strength, and the Hat-tricks fortunate to only be down 2 after that whole stretch.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess if you're a glass half full person, gotta say it could have been much worse than it ended up to be. But yet they still have the 2-goal deficit. Remember, it was Binghamton that came back from 3 2-goal deficits last night on their way to a Game 1 win.
Hat-tricks will have to try and do it tonight to keep the season alive.
They're back on their heels right now, too. This last stretch has been a deflating stretch for them. They got to find their groove again. I think they're looking to add some time back onto the clock.
It did look like maybe an extra second or 2 came off.
Yeah, it wasn't too much, but it might have been 1 or 2.
They'll add 1 second back. 2:04 left in the second. Hat-tricks down 2. Face-off in the Danbury zone, won by Binghamton. Jurich, the shot up high on DeSalvo. He makes the stop. Kirkby out of the box. Back 5-on-5. Each team. McDonald left wing into the offensive zone. Tip in front. They score! Nick Levesque in front on the redirection. McDonald played it from the corner, and he is in some pain after taking the hit, but he made the play out in front. Levesque finishes it. The Hat-tricks within 1:50 to go in the second.
Boy, what a way, what a swing of momentum this is. And what a play by Johnny McDonald, Josh. And he sacrificed his body for it as well. What a play by McDonald. Great rush. Gonna watch it here. He lugs it through the neutral zone over the blue line. He absorbs the hit, and as he goes down, he's still able to center it in front. And Levesque gets a stick to it. It goes up and over Liskovitz. And boy, what a pretty goal that is. And what a huge goal that is for the Hat-tricks.
1:50 left in the second, and that's the type of goal you need to beat Liskowitz tonight. They got a body in front of the net, and a quick deflection from Levesque has the hat-tricks within one. Levesque had 13 goals in 16 games during the regular season, was held off the score sheet last night in Game 1. A huge goal for the hat-tricks in Game 2. It's a one-goal game, 1:45 to go in the second, and the hat-tricks take the puck back into their own zone. Atwell on the near corner, takes it around behind his own net, banks it out in front, and it goes into the neutral zone. Near wing, Atwell will chip up, and it is played in the neutral zone. Mealy dances into the offensive zone, 1-on-4, drops back for Steve. His shot is blocked by Pekarski. The rebound in front, and Mealy stopped again. Liskowitz with the glove, making the save with 1:17 left in the second. Hat-tricks down one, and after kind of weathering the storm with all the penalty kill, the two-man disadvantage, and getting one back, what a huge momentum shift.
It's a really huge. And you know what it did too, Josh? It got the crowd back into the game.
The crowd has been quiet most of the night, but in the last couple minutes, they've been the loudest moments in this building tonight. The hat-tricks win the face-off offensive zone. Anderson will rip it. It's blocked off a body behind the net. Bounces up high. Anderson back to the point. Lazaro knocks it down low. Ojic spins it down into the corner. Taken off the wall. Fitzgerald will chip ahead all the way out. Last minute of the second. Hat-tricks down by one. Facing elimination tonight at home. Just six losses in general for the hat-tricks at home all season. Down one. As the second period winds down, Ojic turns it wide of the net in the Binghamton zone. Gallagher at the right point, chips it by. Fitzgerald can't handle it. Kuznetsov at the circle, knocked off the puck. His pass to the point intercepted, and Lazaro has to take over at center, and he will shove it into the Binghamton bench. And they take exception. There's just no way that was intentional.
Yeah.
29 seconds left in the second. 3-2 Binghamton, a neutral zone faceoff coming up.
And Colin Fitzgerald is hunched over coming to the bench for Binghamton. I didn't see what happened. That was behind the play. But Fitzgerald was all hunched over as he came to the bench. Seemed to be in some kind of distress.
Discussion in front of the Binghamton bench after
they're saying that the face-off, Binghamton's claiming the face-off should be back in the hat-trick zone.
They think the puck was played from inside the zone, which they may have a case.
Which it was.
The hat-tricks will catch the break and the neutral zone draw. It's won by Binghamton with 27 seconds left in the period. They'll sky it into the hat-trick's end. Near corner, Atwell chips up the wall. It goes out to center, past Powell. He has to backtrack into his own end. Binghamton chips back to center. Powell on the touch pass. Newberg to Vanderweel. Newberg has it back left side, rips it on goal, and it's gloved by DeSalvo. 9 seconds left in the period, and a one-goal lead for Binghamton.
That's a big face-off. Yates comes off the bench, of course. He takes every important draw for Binghamton, and he wins the vast majority. He really is a good veteran center. Good at both ends of the ice, really all three zones.
Yates against Ruiz, far circle hat-tricks in. Ruiz wins it, and that's one of the few face-off wins the hat-tricks have had against Yates tonight. They'll clear it all the way down. Yarwood will circle back into his own zone, and that'll do it for the second period. Hat-tricks down by one after 40 minutes, but able to weather a storm late in the period as there's some jawing back and forth at the end of this second frame. The hat-tricks had to face a 5-on-3 twice in the second period. One of them, Binghamton converted. The other one, the Black Bears took a penalty to make it a 4-on-3. That one was late in the period. The hat-tricks able to survive it. Just one goal allowed on the power play in the period. And it's a 3-2 Binghamton lead. The momentum certainly toward the end of the period has shifted in Danbury's favor heading into the third.
Yeah, and really the momentum was on the home team side most of that period until they started going to the penalty box, until they started having to face 5-on-3 disadvantages. The momentum was on their side. They had the better of the play. Liskowitz right now is the difference in this game, in my opinion. I think he's been the best player out there. Zurich has the 2 power play goals. Obviously, he's a key for Binghamton, but I think Liskowitz has been the difference because Danbury was a better team in that period for much of the period. But they trail by 1. They got 20 minutes to get it right to force a game 3.
Hat-tricks outshot the Black Bears 17-8 in the middle period. Liskowitz making 16 saves in the second. It will be a crucial third period for the Hat-tricks, to say the least. The season on the line for Danbury, and when the third period begins in the second intermission, the Hat-tricks will have some time to think about it, get the plan right for the third period. We'll be back with the intermission report, and then the third period coming up here on the Hat-tricks YouTube channel. Welcome back into Danbury Ice Arena, second intermission report. Josh Starr with Jim Cerny, and we are joined in the booth from Hat-tricks forward Tal Finberg. Thanks for joining us, Tal. Second period, the Hat-tricks kind of weathered a storm in the middle of it with a bunch of penalty kills. What did you see from the team out in the second, and what was the response you saw after giving up the power play goal but answering late with Nick Levesque?
Yeah, I mean, Nicky's goal was huge, obviously. It's a lot easier to battle back from a 1-goal lead than a 2-goal lead. But name of the game, we knew it going in, was specialty teams. They're really good on the power play. We know that. We got to we got to keep an eye on George. We know that he's got a heavy shot. But like I said, we know these things. We just got to execute, and it's playoff hockey, so anything can happen. But we're the better team right now, so there's no reason that we shouldn't come out on top.
Owen Liskowitz in the Binghamton net. He's made a couple of big saves for the Black Bears tonight. What can the Hat-tricks do in the third to try and beat him and tie the game up?
I mean, he has made some great saves for sure, but we gotta just find the guy back door. We've had a couple opportunities to find the guy, but we've kind of rushed the shot, which I get it. It happens, but this next period is critical that we just calm down a little bit and play our game, and our game is a little bit more patient and just get them running around, and it'll open up. And we've scored on Liskowitz before. We've put up good numbers on him, so we can definitely score on him. We just got to get back to our game.
Talk about staying calm in the third period of an elimination game. Who are the players that you look to on the team that kind of provide that leadership and will help the Hat-Tricks through the third here to stay calm and try to get the game tied and eventually win it?
I mean, obviously, the Mealies are great players. Johnny, Nikki, we can go from top to bottom, especially when it comes to playoff hockey. It's really not going to be who you expect to be the hero. So we gotta count on everyone to be accountable and play their role, and whoever that is that's going to be rewarded will be rewarded as long as we play for each other and play to our system.
It's interesting. You talk about, anybody can be a hero come playoff time, and it's not always the leading scorer or what have you. And we saw that, last night from Binghamton. How about the play Johnny McDonald made to set up Nick Levesque? Levesque will get the goal credit for the goal. It was a great job by him, great redirection. But the play that McDonald made, taking the hit, falling to the ice, still making the pass right onto the tape, was a huge play. Talk about unsung hero players making big plays.
Absolutely. J-Mac's been unbelievable all year. It's his first year of pro, like myself, so huge learning curve, learning a lot from the vets. And, we knew as rookies going into this playoff round that, the vets will be doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but we got to do our job, like I said. And, J-Mac's put up great numbers all year. He's been one of our best offensive defensemen. I think he leads all our D in points, actually. So I'm not surprised he made a great play, but that's just that sacrifice that we talk about in the playoffs, that he knew he was going to get hit. He knew that he had to do it to make the play, and he did it anyway, and that's what's going to win us games. And we saw, it worked there, and it's going to work more often than not. The team that's going to be more physical, that's going to take the hits to make the play, that's going to make the hits to make the play, that's the team that's going to come out on top.
You talk a little bit about experience and young players, rookies, your rookie pro yourself this season. What did you learn? What was the biggest difference, from playing college and coming here, playing this level of pro? And what do you think you improved on as you went through the entire season?
It was, especially with COVID, kind of delaying the year, it was a huge learning curve. College hockey, NCAA, it's great hockey, but once you get to the pro level, you see how important every little detail is. As you move up in levels, there are just less and less mistakes because every mistake is going to cost you. Being a smaller player, growing up, I was always a skilled guy, and as I transitioned to the higher levels, I kind of had to implement some more grit and simplify my game. And I think that a huge learning aspect when I came here was to simplify my game. In the beginning of the year, I was trying to do a little bit too much here and there, and then once I simplified, then the points came, then the wins came, and then that momentum kind of came with that. So I'd say, attention to detail and simplifying your game on the D side of the puck, and then letting creativity take over in the O zone.
The Hat-Tricks headed to the third period. You talk about the experience. Johnny McDonald making a play. Tobias Ojic, another rookie in the lineup, part of the rookie class along with yourself. Who do you think that maybe isn't the big name that you think is going to rise up in the third period here and try to tie the game
you're
up?
putting the target on Tal's back right here.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Goalie put one in. He's he's been hurt for a little while. He's a huge part of our team. He's a perfect example of that gritty player that keeps it simple on the D side and lets creativity take over and put up points. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has a big game. I know he had the assist on Johnny's goal, so already got on the score sheet. But yeah, I'm really rooting, for anyone. But I wouldn't be surprised if Gordo would be the guy.
Gordy, again, a gritty play like you talked about on the forecheck to set up Ruiz's goal earlier on in the game. Well, Tal, thanks for joining us. Let's hope it's Gordy or anyone. In the third period to tie it up for the hat trick.
As long as it's a hat trick.
Yes, as long as it's a hat trick.
Awesome.
Tal, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We'll be back to wrap up the second period and get you set for the third coming up next here on the Hat Tricks YouTube channel.
Thanks, guys.
Josh Starr back in Danbury. The second intermission report from Danbury Ice Arena. Binghamton leads 3-2 after 40 minutes. The Hat-Tricks facing elimination heading into the third period tonight, down a goal, and they will need to find a way to beat Owen Liskowitz in the third period. He has 25 saves on 27 shots, made 16 saves in the second period. And the Hat-Tricks able to weather a storm during the second period late. Binghamton led 2-1 after one. In the second, the Black Bears had a pair of 5-on-3 power plays. The first one they capitalized on. It was Tyler Jurich, his second power play goal of the night, to give Binghamton a 3-1 lead. The second 5-on-3, the Hat-Tricks drew a penalty in the middle of it, so they were able to make it a 4-on-3. They killed that off, and then just as the teams got back to full strength, Johnny McDonald ran down the left wing, got hit, crunched into the boards, and was able to play a puck from his knees toward the slot where Nick Levesque tipped it by Liskowitz, and that made it a one-goal game. The Hat-Tricks trailing by just a single goal. It was Levesque's first of the playoffs. He had 13 in the regular season, and he has his first of the playoffs. It was a huge one to bring the Hat-Tricks within a goal. Heading into the out-of-town scoreboard tonight, the Port Huron Prowlers and the Carolina Thunderbirds heading to overtime in Carolina. It's game 2. Carolina took game 1 in Port Huron last night, and the Prowlers led 3-1 into the third period, but 2 goals from Carolina in the third, including one with a minute 48 left from Gus Ford, has forced overtime in Carolina. So the Prowlers facing elimination heading to overtime. The Hat-Tricks here in Danbury facing elimination, down a goal, heading into the third period, and we will have it for you next on the Hat-Tricks YouTube channel. We're in for a great third, folks. Stick with us. The Hat-Tricks season on the line at home, where they have only lost 6 times in 30 home games this season. In the regular season, the first ever home playoff game in Hat-Tricks history tonight in Danbury, and they are trying to make it a victorious one. Down a goal, heading to the third when we come back. 20 minutes left for the Hat-Tricks to keep their season alive. Down 3-2 after 40 minutes. And on home ice, Danbury will look to continue its season. Josh Darwood, Jim Cerny starting the third period. And the Hat-Tricks got the momentum back toward the end of the second, looking to carry that into the third.
Yeah, the huge goal by Nick Levesque. Let's see if it does carry over into this third period. We said it in the pregame. This is the moment. This is the night. This is the moment that you earned home ice advantage. You were 24-6-0 this season on home ice. You get home ice for a night like this, for a moment like this.
The Hat-Tricks take over the opening faceoff of the third period. Down a goal, moving left to right into the Binghamton end. Dowd on the backhand, deep into the Black Bears zone. Turned off by Mealy off the side of the cage. And it goes around behind for Binghamton to take out. Right to left, Kirkby through center to Yates into the Hat-Trick zone, right side. Dances toward the slot. The wrist shot rips it high and wide. It goes up the near wall. Powell scurries forward to keep it in. And the Hat-Tricks find it in the corner. Brown up the wall. It's out to center. Kirkby gloves down. Backhands back into the Hat-Trick zone. DeSalvo will leave it for Atwell to take over. 45 seconds into the third. Hat-Tricks down one, facing elimination at home. Left to right, Ojic tips into the offensive zone at the hash marks, far side, tips it in front. The rebound, and Liskowitz covers up. Kuznetsov was out in front, but was tied up, couldn't get his stick free, and Liskowitz covered 54 seconds into the third.
Yeah, I like it. Good opportunity. Ojic took his time, waited for Kuznetsov to get there, helped set up the screen, and Liskowitz came out, aggressively made the save. It was a good job by Yarwood tying up Kuznetsov so he couldn't get a stick to the rebound.
Faceoff will be far circle, offensive end for the Hat-Tricks, attacking to our right. Anderson, Kuznetsov, and Ojic out for Danbury, Lazaro, and Pepe at the point. Anderson will take the draw against Mo Levac. He wins it back to the point. Pepe takes in the shot, hits a body in front, and goes into the near wall. D'Angelo on the wall for Binghamton, looking to turn up. Lazaro keeps in for the Hat-Tricks, but Binghamton pokes to center. Anderson in the neutral zone will drop it back, and the Hat-Tricks take over in their own end. 1:15 into the final period tonight. It is in the Hat-Tricks end, banked out to center, and Binghamton will take over. Ojic lays a hit in the neutral zone, scoops forward toward the Binghamton end, and Pekarski will take over. Up the far side, Levac takes it out of his skate, skies it into the Hat-Tricks zone. Ivashkin settling a bouncing puck, corner of the Danbury end. It goes around behind, two Hat-Tricks collide. Binghamton finds the puck back to the point. Yarwood couldn't get over in time to keep it in, and it goes out to center. 1:45 into the third. Binghamton up one. Levac from the far point will shoot on goal. DeSalvo sliding to his left, makes the stop, and holds on. 1:48 into the third.
I don't know if you've noticed this too, but in the second period, and now we're very early in the third period, DeSalvo has more often than not held on to that puck and is willing to take the face-off in his own end. No more of that kind of cowboy attitude, aggressively playing the puck as he does during the regular season.
Binghamton wins the draw in the Hat-Trick zone. Gallagher pokes it away. Hat-Tricks cannot clear, but the shot in blocked by McDonald. He'll outlet. It hits Ruiz in the back. Vanderweel will take over into the Hat-Tricks end, cutting toward the front of the net. Lost control as he got to the cage. DeSalvo shoves him down. That gets the crowd going. The Hat-Tricks clear. It will be icing against Danbury. 2:13 into the third. The Hat-Tricks trailing by one.
Yeah, no harm, no foul there. Vanderweel going hard to the net. He danced around both the defensemen there, and the puck was sliding off his stick, but DeSalvo made sure you're not going through my crease untouched and sent him flying. Vanderweel showed some wheels, no pun intended right there.
Ruiz wins the draw against Vanderweel. The Hat-Tricks move to center on the near wing. Levac has to pin it against the bench in front of his teammates, but it is Binghamton to take over in the neutral zone. McDonald forces it back forward for the Hat-Tricks into the offensive zone. Left side will stick it down low behind the net. Levesque crashes in, and the puck hops into the near corner. Ruiz chases against Strom. It is one forward by Binghamton. Turned up to the point. Atwell keeps in. Dances by right side. Feeds down low. Ruiz out in front. It's tipped. It goes up in the air. Out to center. Aldworth racing the other way. Right to left into the Hat-Trick zone. Steve Brown plays him into the corner. Aldworth drops it back to Vanderweel. 3 minutes into the third. Hat-Tricks down a goal. Binghamton in the Danbury zone to our left. Powell right point will shoot it. Hits a body in front. Dowda knocks it to the boards near wing. Levesque will turn there. Chip it ahead. Has Dowda out of his own end and through into the neutral zone. He'll chip it off a body into the zone. Gloves it back down to himself in the corner. Fitzgerald turns it up the wall. Turned by Pepe down low. And at the circle, Fitzgerald will settle. Binghamton out to center, 3:20 into the third. Black Bears lead by 1. Yates dances toward the slot. It's knocked away. Jurich will rip. It is stopped by DeSalvo. Rebound in front. Goes wide. Mealy on the near wing was getting up a little bit gingerly, able to play the puck forward and works it to center. The Hat-Tricks into the offensive zone, but Tom Mealy can't control it into the Binghamton end. He is held up by Kirkby. The Black Bears carry out to center. 3:45 into the third. Jurich right wing into the Hat-Tricks end. His pass intercepted by Anderson. He'll move forward. 3-on-3 through center. Anderson right wing into the Black Bears end. Will rip. Saved by Liskowitz. The blocker goes into the corner. The Hat-Tricks look for it there. Anderson out in front. It's tipped away from Tom Mealy. McDonald will play it across. Gallagher takes it off the wall. Tip side of the net. It goes up and out behind. 4:10 into the third. Hat-Tricks with a threat there, but still not a ton of pressure on Liskowitz in the net so far in the third, down a goal.
Yeah, they got to keep getting bodies to the net. You know, if Liskowitz sees it, he's going to make the save. I know that's a cliche about all good goalies, but that's clearly the case with him. He's a big guy, so getting bodies in front of him, you probably need multiple bodies in front of him because he can see over everybody. You know, he's the biggest guy out there pretty much.
Black Bears win the draw, turn it up the boards. Hat-Tricks keep it in the zone. Kuznetsov across Anderson. It goes behind him, and D'Angelo will skate out to center. Black Bears right to left into the Hat-Tricks end, and the Tricks able to work it forward out to center. 4.5 gone in the third. Hat-Tricks down a goal in an elimination game at home. Ivashkin through center will play to D'Angelo, tips into the Hat-Tricks end. DeSalvo will play it up the far wall. It goes by Pekarski. He tried to play it. They'll still call icing against the Hat-Tricks as he made an effort at that puck. 4:45 into the third, 3-2, Binghamton on top.
And looks Aaron Atwell's been out there for a little while, and he's hunched over right now trying to get as much oxygen as he can into his lungs. He looks a little tired.
Hat-Tricks had a couple players pleading with the linesman that should have been a negated icing call, but the Hat-Tricks have the face-off come down into their own zone. Anderson far side against Levac. It is won by the Hat-Tricks into the corner. Anderson pins it against the wall, trying to kick it free. Ojic digs it off the wall and will clear. This will be icing against Danbury, and they'll blow it dead. 4:56 into the third. Hat-Tricks down 1, and some tired players have to remain on the ice.
Yeah, you know, I know Tobias Ojic has been out there for a little while. That whole line has, and the two defensemen, but you know, you're not doing yourself any good by just firing it, winging it down the ice like that. I mean, just play it out to center and see if maybe you can get a change.
Hat-Tricks win the draw with Anderson. Atwell chases behind his own net, over skates, and the Hat-Tricks able to survive that. He'll chip to center. It goes to Boilar. He flags it down and plays it back forward. D'Angelo steps by Brown in the neutral zone. Hat-Tricks knocked to center. Kuznetsov will play ahead. Ruiz into the offensive zone. Goes to the left circle. Over skates. Back to Ojic. The wrist shot. He scores! Tobias Ojic, his first career playoff game, his first playoff goal. It's tied 3-3. 5:18 into the third. The Hat-Tricks have life.
It was a great outlet pass up to Johnny Ruiz. Johnny danced around the D and then set up Ojic, and Ojic with a wicked wrist shot, he's able to snap it into the net. There's the outlet pass. Look at Johnny there. He's really taking on two defenders, and he just drops it back as they converged on him. What a finish by Ojic. What a big moment for the kid, huh? We were just talking about the rookies in the intermission.
A quick release from Ojic, and the Hat-Tricks have tied the game. 5.5 into the third. Levesque will turn it on goal. The Hat-Tricks won the face-off and are in the offensive zone. Binghamton made the stop, and it goes all the way down. Pepe near side in the corner of his own end, will work ahead. It hops in the air. Vanderweel gloves it down. Lazaro able to block it, and the Hat-Tricks carry to center. The crowd really into it now in Danbury. Aldworth forces the turnover in the neutral zone and turns back into the Hat-Tricks end. Strom dances between his legs, back to the point. Fitzgerald walks in, flubs the shot, it trickles by, and Fitzgerald has it back in the corner. 6 minutes gone in the third, tied at 3. Turned out in front by Binghamton. To the point, Aldworth blast! It is saved, and the whistle blows. It is the best atmosphere we've seen tonight. Nobody heard the whistle. 6:06 into the third period. The Hat-Tricks have drawn level. Tobias Ojic, his first career playoff goal, and the Hat-Tricks have tied it at 3, 6:06 into the third.
Well, Josh, I know you sit around all the time. Exercise is good for your bones. That's the tip of the day, brought to you by Ortho Connecticut, the area's premier orthopedic specialty practice and Ortho Care Express. The practice's orthopedic urgent care service is open 7 days a week. The official medical team of your Danbury Hat-Tricks.
In the Danbury zone, the Hat-Tricks win the draw, and it's played out to center. Tom Mealy barrels into the offensive zone to our right. Turned up the wall, Dowda intercepts off the boards, plays down low behind the net for Steve Mealy. In the corner, he's ripped against the boards by Pekarski. Puck drops back into the near corner. Dowda chases, has it along the wall, back down low. Tom Mealy across for Steve in the far boards. Scoops it back behind the net. Tom cycling down low. Can't get the puck. Jurich has it for Binghamton. He'll clear off the glass and out to center. Gallagher gloves it down and will fire into the offensive zone. Crowd getting into it with the Hat-Tricks tying the game with Tobias Ojic. Just a few moments to go. Steve Mealy down low, and his shot is blocked away with the paddle by Liskowitz. Atwell pinches to keep the puck in the zone, twirls at the circle, feeds across. It goes by Tom Mealy to the boards. Gallagher, the shot tipped in front. Steve kicked out by Liskowitz. Atwell's shot high and wide of the net, and Kirkby will find it in the corner, clearing out to center. 7:10 into the third. The Hat-Tricks have the lone third period goal to tie the game. Corey Anderson intercepts at center, facing elimination. The Hat-Tricks move into the offensive zone in a tie game with 12.5 to go in the third. Anderson right side will wrist it. It's tipped up in the air, bounces in front of the net, and they dig away at it. Binghamton finds it. Kuznetsov will turn it down low for Anderson. Behind the net, plays it back up high. It goes wide and out to center. Kuznetsov will take over back in his own zone. 12:20 to go in regulation. Hat-Tricks and Black Bears tied at 3. Ojic, who tied the game, comes into the zone. The wrist shot kicked away by Liskowitz. At the point, Pepe knocks it down low, and Levac will take over for the Black Bears. 12 to go in regulation. The Hat-Tricks and Black Bears tied at 3 in Game 2. Binghamton took Game 1 in overtime last night in New York. Hat-Tricks play it all the way down. It will be icing against Danbury. And MJ Merkel out on the ice for Binghamton taking this shift. He had not taken a shift since he blocked the shot back in the second period. He has made 2 big blocks tonight. Both stung him. He was back on the ice. We'll see if he takes another shift. He's been a good player for Binghamton this season. He'll step off to the bench. 11:55 to go in the third. Hat-Tricks and Black Bears tied at 3. Binghamton wins the draw. Strom turns it toward the net. It hops high in the air and goes wide. Ruiz, stumbling out of the circle, will take the puck to center, and he'll get the legs moving. Off to the left wing, the backhand into the offensive zone, trying to swat it down low, and he cannot get it in deep. He'll go off for a change, and Binghamton will carry out right to left. 11.5 to go in regulation. Hat-Tricks and Black Bears tied at 3. It trickles in onto Salvo, and once again, a conservative approach from him, covering the puck with Aldworth chasing in a tie game in the third.
Yeah, well, this crowd is really fired up right now, and it's a good crowd. Tuesday night crowd here in Danbury. You know, first playoff game, first Hat-Tricks playoff game, in their history in this building. The atmosphere's really picked up here, and I'm just so impressed by the kids. McDonald, the big play. Ojic, the big goal. Stepping up, the unsung heroes.
Hat-tricks move the draw out to center from their own end. 11:15 to go in the third. Tied at 3. Kirkby right to left, back into the hat-trick zone. Levac drops it to the point. Tom Mealy intercepts his outlet pass, kicked down by Levac, but Mealy has it back. Into the offensive zone, left side, he loses control, and it's a breakaway for Jurich into the hat-trick zone, at the circles to his backhand, he scores! His third of the night, and Binghamton has the lead back. 10:59 to go in the third, a turnover in the neutral zone, and Binghamton capitalizes.
This third period has been all Danbury. All Danbury. But they make a critical mistake, and Jurich hanging out around the red line, or actually between the red line and the blue line, and when it was turned over by Danbury, Binghamton turned it back the other way, and that was a flat-out breakaway, 1-on-none, and Jurich is able to beat DeSalvo on the backhand to complete the hat trick, his third goal of the night. And with 10:59 remaining, again, Danbury is down 1 here in the third period.
The young guys have made plays all night. The hat-tricks will need to make another to stay in this game. Facing elimination, down 4-3 with 11 minutes to go in the third. Danbury takes the draw through center. Kuznetsov upended. It will be a penalty. The hat-tricks will go to the power play just after Binghamton takes the lead, and a great chance on the Ferrer Electric power play to even the game back up. Dmitry Kuznetsov drawing the call, and the hat-tricks head to the power play. Gino D'Angelo off for a trip.
Kuznetsov has been in the middle of everything tonight for the hat-tricks. He's been one of their best skaters all night. He's really elevated his game in the second and third periods, and here, he gets knocked down by D'Angelo. Could be an interference penalty. We'll see, but it will be Danbury's 6th power play tonight. They're 0 for 5, 0 for 10 in the series.
Binghamton wins the draw, clears up. McDonald keeps it in, and it bobbles across to the far wing. Ruiz able to keep it alive for the hat-tricks. Bunnell on the left point, whips it around the boards. 15 seconds into the period, the power play rather, 10.5 to go in regulation. Hat-tricks down a goal, facing elimination at home. Levesque takes it off the corner boards, turns around in the corner. D'Angelo for a trip. The hat-tricks on the power play for 90 more seconds. McDonald off to the right circle. Levesque trailing by a goal, plays it behind the net for Ruiz. Comes out near wing, turns it up high for McDonald. Walks across the line, feeds Ruiz right circle. The wrist shot is gloved by Liskowitz. It was going wide. He holds on with 1:18 left on the Danbury power play. 10:04 in the third. Binghamton up by 1.
Well, it's critical. A power play goal here is just crucial for the hat-tricks to get it. They need to get bodies to the net. They need to get the puck through. And so far, again, a lot on the perimeter for Danbury.
Hat-tricks dive to keep the face-off in the zone. Pepe right point. 1:10 left on the power play. He'll skate down into the corner. Pepe banks it around behind and up to the far wall for Kuznetsov to take. Back down low for Bronner, circling to the top of the far wing. Back to Mealy. One-timer, Pepe in front. It goes wide. Blocked off a body in front. Chip down low. Bronner in behind the Binghamton net. Feeds Dowda up for Tom Mealy. Bottom of the near ring. 45 to go on the power play. 9.5 in regulation. Hat-tricks down 1. Kuznetsov left circle. The snap blocked in front. And that hit Merkel again. He is down in front of the Binghamton net. Hat-tricks on the puck. Kuznetsov. And the shot is blocked by Levac. Kept in by the hat-tricks. Merkel on one leg. The hat-tricks on the power play. Dowda rips it. It hits Bronner and goes wide. Dowda in the corner, playing it around. The Black Bears find it but can't clear. 20 seconds left on the power play. Bronner near wing. Mealy at the point. Pepe blast hits Dowda. Rebound off the post from Mealy. Turned up the wall. Pepe keeps in. 10 to go on the power play. Tom Mealy right side. Down low for Dowda in the near corner. Up high, it's tipped out by Levac and goes all the way down. Binghamton will get the kill. Merkel hobbles to the bench, and it's back to full strength. The hat-tricks cannot convert on the power play. Down a goal at home, facing elimination. And with 8:35 to go in the third period, the hat-tricks take over in their own end. Up the right wing, Corey Anderson through center into the offensive zone, cuts by, puts the shot on, and it is blocked by Binghamton. They carry out Vanderweel, speeding across the Hattricks line. Puck is poked away by Atwell. Anderson scoops forward. Ojic can't find it in the neutral zone. Powell will take it back into his own end. Fitzgerald on the near wing, fans on the outlet. Hattricks turn right back in. Anderson cuts toward the slot. The wrist shot blocked by Powell into the corner. Anderson barrels in behind, and Binghamton will take up the wall. Strom kicks out to center. McDonald takes over in the neutral zone. His outlet past Atwell. It goes down and will be icing against the Hattricks with 7:54 left in the third. Binghamton up a goal. The Hattricks cannot convert on the power play.
That was probably their best-looking power play of the night, Josh, but the end result is the end result, and they're 0 for 6 on the man advantage.
We'll step aside. 7:54 to go in the third. Hattricks facing elimination, down a goal.
TK's American Cafe is on White Street right here in Danbury. Stop by TK's and try one of their 76 amazing wings flavors. It's TK'sAmericanCafe.com. 7:54 remaining in the third here in Game 2 with Danbury facing elimination. And they trail Binghamton 4-3 after trailing 3-1 and tying the game here in the third period. Jurich with the hat-trick goal, and Danbury back down by 1.
Face-off in the hat-trick zone. Ruiz wins it forward. Ojic will pounce into the offensive end. On the left side, he's stopped in the corner, turned up the wall by the Black Bears, and Levac will spin it out to center. McDonald will race back for it in his own zone, turns it up the wall, stopped by Kirkby, and the puck to Ruiz. Can't handle it. Levac down low, the backhand in front, saved by DeSalvo, rebound, and the Hattricks find it. It's turned up the wall by Ojic. Skating to center, left to right, 7.5 to go in the third. Hattricks down by 1, facing elimination. Behind the net, Levesque can't grab the puck, and it is clipped up and out by Binghamton. Bouncing puck at center. Jurich held on to. That will be a penalty against the Hattricks. It would have been a breakaway for Jurich, and Atwell forced to take the penalty. 7:11 left in the third. Binghamton to the power play, up a goal, and looking to make it a 2-goal lead for the Black Bears and a chance to advance to the FPHL semifinals.
Yeah, Atwell there wasn't much that he could do, right, Josh? You know, he was caught flat-footed, a bouncing puck, and I mean, Jurich was going to be off to the races. It's going to be from the circles in all alone on DeSalvo. So Atwell basically just tackled him. It looked like a linebacker or a safety there, and hauled him to the ice, kind of had to do what he had to do, and now his teammates have to bail him out. Huge penalty kill here. Keep in mind, Binghamton in the regular season did allow 10 shorthanded goals against.
The Hattricks had one last night, Johnny Ruiz in Binghamton. They won the draw, turned it out to center. 7 minutes to go in regulation. Hattricks down a goal on the penalty kill for 1:45. Binghamton in the Danbury zone to our left, digging away behind the cage. It's worked free by Strom in the far corner, and he pins it against the wall. Gallagher digs it free up to Dowda, who will clear all the way down. 6:45 left in the third. Binghamton up by 1. 1:30 left on the power play for the Black Bears. Aldworth, legs moving through center into the hat-trick zone, dances, left circle, cuts to the front of the net, poke check by DeSalvo, it trickles around in front, and it's found by Strom. Back to the point, the blast, Fitzgerald high and wide. Into the far circle, Ivashkin dances in front and is stopped by the Hattricks. It's turned back up to the point. Fitzgerald takes it center point, skates down and off to the left circle. Aldworth back to the point, 1 minute into the power play for Binghamton. Vanderweel, right side, across Aldworth, one-timer, he misses the net, and Bronner will clear. 6 minutes left in regulation, 50 seconds on a power play for Binghamton, and the Black Bears lead 4-3. Hattricks facing elimination tonight in the first home playoff game in franchise history. Fitzgerald behind his own cage will move up right to left. Jurich, drop pass for Kirkby, offside at the hat-trick's line. 5:44 left and 33 on the Binghamton power play. Black Bears up 1.
Got to survive this, and then you got to go to work. You know, Josh, they got to get the puck in deep. They got to use their speed, and they've got to get pucks to the net. Pucks and bodies to the net. But they got to kill this off first.
Neutral zone draw won by Binghamton. Jurich skates into the hat-trick's end. Stopped along the side of the cage. Hat-tricks can't clear. Yarwood at the point. Across right side. Powell switches places. Center point. 20 seconds left on the Binghamton power play. Left circle. Jurich slides down low. Kirkby all the way out. It bounces off Lazaro. Goes over the net. Gallagher pinned against the wall. It will be a penalty against Binghamton. And that will do it for the Black Bears power play. Gallagher slow getting up behind the hat-trick's net. He is to both feet, and the hat-tricks in 11 seconds will head to a power play down 1, trying to tie the game, boarding the call against Kirkby, and the hat-tricks survive the penalty kill. It will be 4-on-4 for 11 seconds.
Yeah, and you said he pinned him into the wall. He pasted him into the wall. It was a high hit. Gallagher's back was turned. Maybe a 50-50 call there, Josh. I don't think it was a slam dunk call. Certainly Kirkby did not like the call by the official, but it goes in Danbury's favor, and they will, in 11 seconds, get their 7th power play of the night, and it's a must for them to deliver on it.
Ruiz takes the draw, offensive zone. It's chipped up the wall. Pepe can't keep it in. Ruiz takes over in the neutral zone. In 3 seconds, the Hat-tricks will start a power play. Bunnell chips down low in the corner. Atwell out of the box. Hat-tricks to the power play for 1:45. 5:05 left in regulation. Danbury down a goal at home in the third, facing elimination. Puck trickles out in front. The rebound cleared to the point. Pepe will take over. Right side, McDonald blasts. It hits Bunnell. Bounces back to McDonald. Center point, under 5 to play. One-timer Pepe kicked out by Liskowitz. And Levac finds it. He will clear down. DeSalvo out of his net to our left will leave it behind the cage for McDonald to take over. 4:40 left in the third period. Hat-tricks down 1. Game 2 of a best of 3. Binghamton took game 1 in overtime last night. 1:10 left on the power play for the Hat-tricks. Left to right, Kuznetsov into the offensive zone. Skates toward the slot, trying to work his way by. Muscled free, the wrist shot wide by Dowda into the corner. Bronner takes it off the near wall. Down low for Dowda. Cycles back up high. Kuznetsov, center point, back across right circle. Dowda to the point. Pepe, the shot tipped in front. Bronner digs away, rebound in front, and the shot saved by Liskowitz. He covers up. He stoned the Hat-tricks down low. He was prone on the ice. It was McDonald and Dowda both digging away. Liskowitz makes the stop. 4:07 left in the third. The Hat-tricks down a goal, facing elimination at home. 45 seconds left on a power play when we come back.
Well, if you want the best, now you got it. Jersey Mike's is here, and be sure to stop by at their locations in both Brookfield and Ridgefield. Jersey Mike's, wow, that's good. And boy, Liskowitz, wow, he was pretty good in that last stretch right there. Scrambling moments, loose puck right around his crease, right around his net. And somehow Liskowitz made several saves and kept the puck out of the net. Danbury remains on the power play.
Offensive zone draw for the Hat-tricks. Bunnell, it's tied up in the circle. Danbury digs it free. Ruiz to the point. Gallagher fans on the shot, keeps it alive and works it to the point. Atwell will fake the shot and skate back center point. 30 seconds left on the power play for Danbury. His shot through traffic, tipped in front. Levesque stuffing away at the rebound. It goes wide. Levesque has it back in the corner. 20 seconds to go on the power play. 3:40 in regulation. Hat-tricks down a goal. The blast from Gallagher at the point. It tips in front, goes wide. Bunnell has it near corner, and the net comes off. 12 to go on the power play for the Hat-tricks. and 3:34 left in regulation. It's 4-3 Binghamton. The Hat-Tricks so close but unable to beat Liskowitz on the power play so far. 12 seconds to go on it.
Now Liskowitz now with 37 saves on the night. And he has made some of his best and certainly most important saves during this power play, which has been a good one for Danbury.
Ruiz will take the draw near circle. 3:34 left in regulation. Down a goal. The Hat-Tricks win the draw, but Ruiz was tangled up in the slot, and it is cleared all the way down. A delayed call coming up, and unsure who this is going to be on. Some pushing and shoving behind the play. 2 seconds left on the current power play for the Hat-Tricks. And if this is on Binghamton, the Hat-Tricks have to be careful here.
Yeah, I think it's actually on Danbury. There's a broken stick on the ice, which leads me to believe that there was a slash. Somebody slashed the stick into pieces. So
the
let's
referees
see.
will talk about it
Yeah.
in the Binghamton end.
And if there are any other penalties that come out of this as well.
This would be a killer if it's against the Hat-Tricks.
3:24 to go in the third period.
Nobody going to the box yet on either side.
And the referee is explaining things to Dave McIsaac and Billy McCreary.
Still nobody going to the box. The arm was up. They blew it dead.
Yeah, the arm was up. I don't think there's going to be a penalty here.
Maybe they saw the broken stick, thought it was a slash, started to call it, and then after discussion, it looked like the stick broke in the face-off circle when they took the face-off. I didn't think anything of it at the time, and I guess they'll just say no call. 2 seconds left on the Hat-Tricks power play. 3:24 left in regulation. It's a 4-3 Binghamton lead. The Hat-Tricks facing elimination. Corey Anderson will take the face-off near circle. Offensive end to our right against Levac. It's won by the Hat-Tricks. Ojic skates into the slot, and he lost control as Levac takes to center. Binghamton back to full strength. 3:15 to go in regulation. Hat-Tricks down 1. DeSalvo turns it off to the near wall. McDonald will take it out of the corner there and skate to center. Outlet ahead on the tape to Ojic, left side into the offensive zone. Drops for Anderson. It was behind him, and he'll swat it back across for Ojic. 3 minutes to play in the third. Hat-Tricks down 1. Brown, right point, will serve it down low into the corner. It's played up by Fitzgerald. Brown pinches, keeps it alive for the Hat-Tricks. Fitzgerald has it back. Brown again flags down the clear attempt along the half wall. Players dig away on the near boards, and Binghamton clears off the glass all the way down into the Hat-Trick zone. 2:38 to play in the third period. Hat-Tricks down 1. Binghamton leads the best of 3, 1-0. And the Hat-Tricks have to find a goal to tie this one late to keep the season alive. Lazaro from behind his own net, left to right, through center. Chips ahead, Bunnell will dump into the offensive end. 2:15 to play. Hat-Tricks still have DeSalvo in the net. In the corner, far side, Binghamton end. Bunnell will try to work it free. Does get it to Ruiz. Dances down low. Can't get a stick on it. Pepe right side will skate the in. The shot is stopped by Liskowitz. Rebound is covered up. 2:03 left in the third. Hat-Tricks down 4-3. And an offensive zone draw for Danbury.
And Gordy Bunnell was barely able to get off the ice. I don't know if he's exhausted or if he's hurt, or a combination thereof. Yeah, he's hurt. He's being looked at by the trainer right now as the Hat-Tricks will use their timeout with 2:03 remaining.
The Hat-Tricks have put all the pressure they can on Binghamton in this third period. It's been a really just desperation effort, and it has to be for Danbury.
Yeah.
In the third, 14 shots so far after 17 in the second, but just one goal by Ojic, and then Binghamton answered to take the lead back. 2:03 left now, and the Hat-Tricks drawing up a play on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they've done a lot of really good things here in the third period. A lot of the things that I harped on in the first 40 minutes, get bodies to the net, shoot the puck. I mean, Pepe has done a fantastic job I think, not just as a rookie, but just as anybody, as the point guy, as an offensive defenseman, getting pucks through to the goalie. But it just hasn't worked yet. They've had some good tips. They've had redirections. They've had whacks at rebounds. But Liskowitz has been the difference maker.
Empty net for the Hat-Tricks out of the timeout. 6-on-5 for Danbury. 2:03 left in the third. Down a goal, facing elimination. And they will re-drop this puck. They'll have to put a second back on the clock.
That's what Billy McCreary is saying. Billy's pointing up at the clock.
They added the second back. 2:03 left. Hat-Tricks down a goal. 6-on-5 with the extra skater on. Goalie pulled for Danbury. Elimination on the line for the Hat-Tricks. Ruiz will take the draw against Jurich. It's won by Binghamton. Turned up the wall. Jurich chips it by. Dowda flags it down. Play to the wall. Ruiz the blast. It goes off a body in front. Bounces around. Goes wide of the net. Into the corner. Kirkby chases. And the puck is kept in by the Hat-Tricks. A hand pass called against Danbury. Offensive end. 1:48 left in the third. The faceoff will come to the neutral zone. And they may have to put DeSalvo back in. And they will.
Yeah, DeSalvo now coming off the bench. Boy, some crazy bounces and opportunities just missed all throughout this third period, including that last sequence.
1:45 left. The neutral zone draw goes deep into the Hat-Tricks end. It's won by Danbury, and DeSalvo will follow the Hat-Tricks up the ice. McDonald gets the red line, dumps into the offensive zone. Levesque chases behind the Binghamton net. 1:35 to go. Hat-Tricks down by one, facing elimination. Offensive end behind the Binghamton net. Ojic will look to dig it free. It is Levesque. They cannot find it. It's turned up the wall. Ruiz keeps in and plays it down low, but it's played all the way back down. Icing waved off as Ruiz tipped the shot all the way down. 1:15 to go in regulation. 4-3, Binghamton leads. They dump it back into the Hat-Trick zone, and the Hat-Tricks were complaining for a call.
Too many men on the ice.
Hat-Tricks with the empty net into the offensive zone. 1 minute left in regulation. Ojic takes over in the corner. He is stopped along the wall. Levesque trying to dig it free for the Hat-Tricks. Binghamton keeps it along. Ojic out in front, and they dig away at it, side of the cage. Steve Mealy in the corner, upend it behind the Binghamton net. 45 seconds left. Hat-Tricks sees it on the line. It tips out in front, and Liskowitz pins it against his pad. 44.6 seconds left. Hat-Tricks down one, and having to pull out all the stops here. Empty net, and the season on the line.
Yeah, great opportunity there for Steve Mealy with a wraparound, a sneaky wraparound, and Liskowitz was able to make the save. The puck stayed alive and eventually went behind the goal line. It was centered out in front off of a defenseman's stick or skate and deflected right on goal, and Liskowitz made another outstanding save.
Hat-Tricks have the goalie pulled. 43 seconds left. Offensive zone draw, left circle. They cannot win it, but they keep it alive. It's tipped toward the slot. The Hat-Tricks dig it free. Right side, Dowda. Down low, out in front. Played across. One-timer, and it's stopped by Liskowitz. Kuznetsov on the chance. Back up high. Dowda, wrist shot. Hits Bronner in front. 25 seconds left. Atwell charges in. It's kept alive in the corner. Steve Mealy down low behind the net. Bronner back out in front. It's played to the point. 15 seconds left. Hat-Tricks turn side of the net, out in front, they stir, they score! They score! The Hat-Tricks have tied it! 4-4, 13 seconds left in the third period. Steve Mealy comes to the bench, and the Hat-Tricks have tied it up.
And this place has exploded. The Hat-Tricks kept the puck in the offensive zone, chance after chance after chance. And boy, Binghamton, they're complaining here, but it clearly went in. Let's check out the replay.
It was Steve Mealy. It was Steve Mealy.
He actually fanned on his first shot, and that might have gotten Liskowitz moving, and then Mealy shot it again, or actually got the shot off the second time, and he ties it with 13.1 seconds left. Incredible.
We talked about who was it going to be for the Hat-Tricks tonight. The rookies made the plays earlier. Johnny McDonald assisted on Nick Levesque's goal. Tobias Ojic scored. Well, it's the veteran leadership for the Hat-Tricks who convert with 13 seconds left. Steve Mealy, over 300 professional games in his career, and has the biggest goal in Hat-Tricks history tonight.
And his third of the playoffs. He's been their best player so far in the playoffs.
Corey Anderson knocks the face-off deep into the Binghamton zone. Yarwood will take it off the corner boards and turn it up the near wing. Out along the wall, it's played against the boards, and that will do it for regulation. We are headed to overtime in Danbury. Steve Mealy, the goal with 13.1 seconds left in regulation, has forced overtime, and the Hat-Tricks have a new lease on life tonight, facing elimination at home. Why win it the easy way, Jim?
Oh, my goodness.
Let's do overtime for the second straight night. The same exact score after regulation as game one, 4-4. And Steve Mealy, so far the hero. The Hat-Tricks will be looking for another one to keep the season alive tonight.
Yeah, you need one more hero for sure. You know, Danbury was the superior team in that period. They played desperate hockey. Liskovitz was outstanding in that period, just under siege pretty much most of the period, certainly down the stretch. And he was fantastic, and he can't be faulted there. And it's almost a fluky play, right? Steve Mealy's, it's no fluke, he's in the right spot at the right time. That's the veteran going to the right spot. But he fanned on the first shot. And who knows? If he gets that shot, maybe Liskowitz makes that save, but he doesn't get the shot off. And he recollects and then puts it in. And
it was the second chance where he saw Liskowitz sliding across and looped it around his pad that was trailing. Just a heady play from Steve Mealy, and it has the Hat-Tricks season still alive. They say it's unassisted for Mealy. The Hat-Tricks dug that puck out from behind the net.
I don't know how that is unassisted. Just like I don't know how Kuznetsov didn't get the assist on the third goal, but it does not matter.
Doesn't matter. The Hat-Tricks have tied the game, and we are headed to overtime. We'll have an intermission report coming up, and then overtime from Danbury. Tied at 4, the season on the line for the Hat-Tricks, going to overtime in Game 2. Overtime just minutes away from Danbury, and I at least have caught my breath a little bit, but it's going to go right back up the heart rate for everyone when overtime starts in a couple minutes. Steve Mealy, 13 seconds left in regulation, ties it for the Hat-Tricks, and facing elimination, they have an opportunity once again to extend the season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talk about heroes. Who's going to be the hero? Who's going to come through? Who's going to score the big goal, make the big play, make the big pass, make the save? Well, you know, it's never just one person, but at the beginning of the season when we were going into preseason and the team was coming together and everything, everyone seemed to talk a lot about the Mealy brothers and what they were going to bring to the team this season. Veterans, guys that had played the most games professionally of anybody else on the roster, guys that still had skill, could still play, but also brought the intangibles to the team and were leaders. And boom, when the season is down to the line, you're under a minute, much closer, you know, to the end of the season, you know, for it all to come undone. Who scores the goal? It's Steve Mealy. You know, the guy who had a huge game in game one as well in the losing effort. He comes through here and, you know, but now what this did was it bought you time. And now you've got to play smart. You know, you can't let Jurish break in on breakaways like he had a couple in the third period. But you got to keep up the pressure too. I think that was the difference in that third period. They just kept that insane pressure on Binghamton and kept the puck in Binghamton's end of the ice. And they've got to keep that fury. Don't sit back. I think you got to really push, but you got to be smart. It's a lot going on here, you know, in this mix.
The Hat-Tricks have come from behind tonight to force this game into overtime. It was 3-1 Binghamton. The Hat-Tricks tied it at 3:5:18 into the third. Then Binghamton answered at 9:01. It was Steve Mealy with 13 seconds left in regulation to force overtime for the Hat-Tricks. Last night in Binghamton, it was the Black Bears who came from behind, forced overtime, and won it in overtime.
Yep.
The Hat-Tricks looking to do the same tonight at home and extend the season. We'll have overtime coming up next on the Hat-Tricks YouTube channel. Buckle up, folks. We're headed to OT right after this on the Hat-Tricks YouTube channel. 4-4. Coming up next is overtime. Set for overtime in Danbury. Josh Starr with Jim Cerny. The Hat-Tricks and Black Bears 4-4 after regulation for the second straight night. It's game 2 of the FPHL quarterfinals. Binghamton leading 1-0 in the best of 3. The Hat-Tricks facing elimination and at home trying to find a winning goal in overtime. Adam Dowda and the Mealy brothers start for the Hat-Tricks with Brown and Atwell at the point. Dowda will take the draw at center ice against Mo Levac. It is won by Binghamton, and overtime is underway. The Black Bears move left to right in the overtime frame, and Kirkby dumps into the Hat-Tricks end. Kirkby, the overtime hero for the Black Bears a night ago in New York. The Hat-Tricks turn it up the near wall, and Tom Mealy will skate out of his own end on the near wing. Up the left side, he'll dump in to the offensive zone. It rattles around the boards. Far wing, Steve dumps it back down low. Tom back out in front. Anderson turns, fires the shot, blocked by Kirkby. Rebound try blocked again by Levac. Anderson turns it again down low. It goes by the Mealys in front, and Kirkby plays up the wall. Lazaro keeps in. Hat-Tricks dig away down low, and Powell takes out for Binghamton. out to center, Levac, off to Kirkby, right side, in the hat-trick's end, Jurich, right wing, and the shot goes wide, rebound in front, blocked by Pepe, and turned off to the wall, far wing, a minute into overtime. Turned behind the hat-trick's net, out in front, Binghamton, the shot, saved by DeSalvo. Turned out in front, Pepe will find it on the right circle, chip it out in the neutral zone. Ojic chases into the offensive end, and it is played from Ojic in from the corner up to Kuznetsov, rips it wide, it bounces off the back of the Binghamton net into the far boards. Ojic turns it out in front, it's tipped away by Liskowitz. Left side, McDonald in overtime. 1:20 into the overtime period. Kuznetsov dumps Ivashkin. It's going to be a penalty against the Hat-Tricks. Ivashkin down on the ice. 1:28 into overtime. Season on the line. The Hat-Tricks headed to the penalty kill.
Kuznetsov here. That could be a boarding. That's probably what it's going to be. Ivashkin is laying face first on the ice.
It looked to me like the contact was made far enough from the boards. It may have been an interference call as well. Well, they'll call a board. Ivashkin being hurt doesn't necessarily help Kuznetsov's case. The Hat-Tricks will go short-handed, 1:28 into overtime.
Now the trainer has come out to help Ivashkin, and see Kirkby is there as well. Ivashkin now is kind of rolled over to his side. Now he's pushing up onto a knee. You just hope that it's just cobwebs that he was shaking up. Certainly don't want to see anybody go down in an injury. It certainly did not look pretty when he went down. He went hard into that wall.
He is up on a knee, will get to both feet and skate off the ice. He's favoring his right arm, it looks like.
Yeah.
Must have collided into the boards. The face-off will come back down in the hat-trick zone. A minor for boarding against Dmitry Kuznetsov, and the Hat-Tricks to the kill in overtime. The amount of penalties taken last night killed the Hat-Tricks. They have to have a kill in overtime to keep the season alive. Game 2 of the FPHL quarterfinals. Far circle, Hat-Trick zone to our right. Ruiz will take the draw to start the penalty kill against Levac. It's won forward by Ruiz, and he'll sky it all the way out. Pushing and shoving back in the Hat-Trick's end behind the play. The puck is turned to center by Binghamton, and the Black Bears will start through center. Levac kicks it forward at the Hat-Trick's line. He dumps it into the Danbury end. 1:45 into overtime, 20 seconds into a power play for Binghamton. On the near wing, Yarwood along the boards. The Hat-Tricks push it to center. Levac will chase and has Ruiz in the neutral zone. He bobbles, and Binghamton back toward the Hat-Trick's ice. Banked in by Levac to Jurich, skating by far circle in that Danbury end. Binghamton set up, 1:19 on the power play. Right circle, Yarwood's shot blocked by Brown. He goes down in a heap in the corner. Jurich finds the puck, wraps around the other side, far wing, will serve it toward the front, backed out by Dowda and out to center. It goes by Yarwood. Powell takes over in the neutral zone. His pass ahead. Dowda takes over into the offensive end. The wrist shot blocked by Yarwood, and halfway through the power play, Binghamton takes it back into its own end. Powell up the far wing. It is stopped by Atwell, and numbers for Binghamton on the power play. They go across the line offside. A break for the Hat-Tricks. Atwell was caught up the ice with 47 seconds left on the kill for the Hat-Tricks. 2:41 into overtime.
So, Josh, what happened there was Atwell saw the puck, and if he had broken for it immediately, he would have gotten to it cleanly, I think. But he hesitated for a second, then went for the puck, and Binghamton was able to tap it behind him, and all of a sudden, it looked like it'd be trouble for Danbury, but a very, very fortunate offsides by the eager Black Bears, and the faceoff outside the Danbury zone.
Hat-Tricks win the draw in the neutral zone, tip it forward, and it's Fitzgerald back into the Hat-Tricks end. He lost control. The Hat-Tricks clear. down the ice. 3 minutes into overtime, 30 seconds left on a kill for the Hat-Tricks early in the first overtime tonight. Aldworth across the Hat-Tricks line, left side, dances down into the corner, shoved off the puck by Anderson. He scoops it forward. Bronner will find and take it out to center. He's caught from behind, does not get it deep into the Binghamton zone, and a penalty called behind the play against Aldworth. Anderson and Aldworth collided back behind the play. The arm was up, was waiting to see if Binghamton touched the puck, if they would call it, and they do. 13 seconds left on the Kuznetsov minor, and Binghamton takes a penalty. Aldworth to the box, and the Hat-Tricks will have a power play for 1:47 after 13 seconds of 4-on-4 interference. The call on Aldworth all the way behind the play in the Hat-Tricks zone. A huge chance for the Hat-Tricks. 3:15 into OT.
If you're Aldworth, that is a penalty you cannot take at any point, much less in overtime of a playoff game. Very undisciplined play there. I thought that they were going to even it up. I thought Corey Anderson was going to go with them because Anderson did take a swing back. But they took Aldworth. He was the one that kind of started the altercation. It's a break for Danbury, so eventually 13 seconds away from a power play.
Hat-Tricks win the draw. Gallagher, the blast from the point, hits a body in front. Levesque swats it wide of the cage. 5 seconds until the Hat-Tricks start a power play. Levesque on the near wall in the Binghamton end. Hat-Tricks turn it back to the point on the power play for 1:47 in overtime. Looking to keep the season alive. Ruiz back to the point. Gallagher winds back to Ruiz. Left side. The shot hits the post. Bounces back far side. And it goes away on the near wing. Gallagher off to the center point. Will shoot. It's tipped. They score! Nick Levesque in front. The Hat-Tricks stream off the bench. They force Game 3 tomorrow night in Danbury. They stream off and they surround Garrett Gallagher, who took the shot at the point. Nick Levesque with the deflection in front, and the Hat-Tricks have forced Game 3.
How about that? To that point, Danbury 0 for 12 on the power play in this series, but they convert when they absolutely needed it the most. And this place has come unglued. Danbury Arena. And we see GM Billy McCreary has leapt out onto the ice to be part of the celebration as well. Nick Levesque indeed tips it past Liskovich, his second goal of the game. And what did I tell you while we were in break before the period started? I said it's either Kuznetsov or Levesque. They have been the best forwards tonight for the Hat-Tricks. But good job by Gallagher, too. It's not just the shot that was deflected. It's he kept the puck in with a lunge on a clearing attempt by Binghamton. He kept the puck alive, kept the play alive, and then it's his shot that's deflected into the net. What an amazing night here at Danbury Arena. What a huge win for the Hat-Tricks.
What a gutsy performance by Danbury to be able to come back 2 goals down late against the Black Bears. They forced the tie with 13 seconds left in regulation. Steve Mealy, and then in overtime, the Hat-Tricks convert, and it is the shot from Garrett Gallagher, tipped in by Nick Levesque, his second of the night, and the Hat-Tricks season stays alive. They play again tomorrow night to move on to the league semifinals, and you have home ice in Game 3.
What did I say in pregame about home ice, right? You all season long, you did what you could, finish as high in the standings as you could. You were 24-6 on home ice this season. You played for that home ice advantage for a moment like this, a season on the line, and just a huge, thrilling win at Danbury Arena tonight for the Hat-Tricks. And now you got to come back, but you're at home again tomorrow. Got to get it done again. You got to come back and do it again. And what a series. Last night, Binghamton, they they don't lead until they win it in overtime, right? You know, they trail by 2, 3 different times. Tonight, it's Danbury trailing by 2, and they're able to come back and then win it in overtime. Just what a series it's been so far.
And you don't want to be the team that goes into game 2 and then with the lead and then loses the momentum with the hat tricks at home in game 3 tomorrow night. It feels like the hat tricks came back tonight. Last night they blew the lead in the third. Tonight they come back from a third period deficit, and the momentum that you can take from a game like this into tomorrow night, some people don't buy into that carrying over to the next day in a playoff series. Binghamton is going to remember that they gave up that goal with 13 seconds left. They're going to remember that the hat tricks would not quit in overtime and really just pressured Binghamton to death in that game. 45 shots and a ton of them in the final 40 minutes, 17 in each the second and the third period. The hat tricks just would not quit tonight, and their season was on the line. They had to have that desperation. They had it, and they got the win and forced game 3 tomorrow.
They were a different team in the third period. They really were, you know, playing with that desperation. I mean, they had so many scoring chances and great opportunities. And you know what? Owen Liskovitz allows 5 goals in this game. He was outstanding. I thought, for Binghamton. But at the end of the night, you know, it's Steve Mealy with 13.1 seconds to go in regulation that ties it. He extends the season into overtime. And then Nick Levesque, officially at 4:02 of overtime, deflects Garrett Gallagher's shot past Liskovitz. And, you know, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that on the power play, the hat tricks needed to get bodies to the net. And Levesque is about as big a body up front as Danbury has. And that's exactly what Levesque did. He got to the front of the net. And make no mistake, Nick Levesque was a man possessed from the third period on tonight. He was having a good night all the way through, and scored the goal in this early in the third, but in the second he scored. But he was a man possessed out there tonight, and that he ended up getting the game winner in overtime really is not a surprise. He was that good tonight, and now rest up, get to bed. It's nourish yourself and come back tomorrow and play the biggest game of the season.
Nick Levesque wins it in overtime for the hat tricks at 3:48 into the overtime period. The assist from Garrett Gallagher, and it keeps the season alive for the hat tricks. Back tomorrow night in Danbury Arena for game 3. Do or die for the hat tricks again tomorrow night. They did it tonight. They responded with the adversity they faced being down late in the game. They came back and they won it. They'll have to try and do it all over again tomorrow.
Two quick questions for you. I'll let you be coach of each team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the hat tricks. Dustin Gesso was suspended 1 game. He sat out tonight. You assume, again, it's an assumption, that he comes back into the lineup tomorrow. Who comes out of this lineup? The kid Ojic was fantastic tonight, right? So there's one decision. Now on the Binghamton side, who's your goalie tomorrow?
Yep.
Right? Liskovitz lost, he didn't lose it, but he was the losing goalie in this game, but was outstanding. He was probably their best player, other than Jurich.
And Shepard was outstanding last night for the final 40 minutes.
Absolutely.
It's a tough decision for Rod Davidson to make, and we'll find out tomorrow that the hat tricks, I think they like that they have this depth at this point in the year. Throughout the year, it was tough to win road games. It was tough at home even at times with guys out of the lineup, guys being injured, and especially on the road. But at home, at points too, they have their full lineup here in the playoffs. They weren't able to get the job finished last night. Tonight, they came back to do it. And I think that whoever the hat tricks can put out there, whether they go with Gesso, maybe there's an injury that we don't know about tonight and someone has to sit out tomorrow.
Yeah.
the hat tricks. Gordy Bennell went off. I don't think he took another shift after that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he did either. That could be the one.
It could be him, but either way, the hat tricks have to be happy with the resiliency, and the season's still alive, so they have a shot. And at home in Game 3 with the home crowd behind them, anything can happen.
Absolutely. It is really a scintillating night here at Danbury Arena tonight. And the cool part is we get to come back and do it all over again tomorrow night at 7:30.
Well, we will have the action for you again at 7:30 tomorrow night. The puck drop coming up just after 7:30 in Game 3 of this series. Coverage will start around 7:15 here on the Hat-Tricks YouTube channel. The Hat-Tricks take Game 2 5-4. They force Game 3 and a chance to move on to the semifinals tomorrow night at home for the Hat-Trick. Nick Levesque, the hero tonight in Danbury. Who will be the hero tomorrow night? You'll have to tune in to find out. 7:15 on the air on YouTube. Get your tickets at danburyhattricks.com and join us for tomorrow's game against Binghamton, Game 3 of the best of 3 series. The Hat-Tricks win 5-4. Nick Levesque, the overtime hero. For my partner Jim Cerny, my name is Joe.